Welcome, my lovely dears. It's been a whole year since last we gathered, and I got to steal the joke first on the stream, so you can tell off Mers when she tries it later.
That said, it has been almost a month.
I can't
That
believe
is
you
true.
waited a
It's-
whole year for that.
I know. I also had to beat Hedrah to it, who was probably chomping at the bit.
Yeah, she did make it in Discord, though.
Waiting.
Exactly. Just to pull that, like, no. You see this rug?
Yeah.
It is no longer under your feet.
Indeed. And I've been sitting here waiting since last year for that one.
Yep. It's delightful. But yes, it has been a long old heckin' month because December sucks and I hate it. And so I was not up to running at all during that month. But we're done. We're through it. We've survived. We've made it to another year. The zombie apocalypse is still not quite upon us. It's still kissing tantalizingly at the edges of the windows, screaming in Chinese. And goodness, we have to ask that question. Where did we last leave off? It was rather a whole lot of things all happened at the very end of the session. You defeated a great and mighty dragon, a shadow of war and death, loss and combat, in order to impress the goddess of war herself. Enough with which to earn a boon. And a boon you did earn, with a little extra gift so long as one of you pledged yourself in her service ad eternum once your quest was completed. And it was, in fact, faithful brave Kitty who did not go down in the fight, who stood up and announced, yes, I would like purpose in my life.
Yes.
So Belle gave unto you a bunch of silvered stakes. Special little magical things, only a handful that she could spare lest she draw ire from the Morrigan, which would have caused a great big old fucking fuss. And then one of those stakes was handed off to a member of the Black Knights, and another was crammed immediately into Cass's chest, revealing to the entire party what she truly always was, a goddamn vampire.
Faunra was pissed.
Understandably, yes.
Yeah, rightfully so.
She went back to her matron and fellow sisters and informed them that she had failed to see the enemy walk among them. And they, although understanding the subterfuge of whatever this cloak is, understand that at the same time punishment must still be dealt. And so, as though you were a naughty school child once more, they laid into you with the spanking sticks.
They knocked her out with the spanking sticks is what they did as well.
That's fucking brutal.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
It's
it
true.
is.
Faunra's not going to be sitting down for a while.
Yeah, no, that is quite literally it. She got nonplussed, yeah, no, Catholics wish they were that hardcore. God, they probably do. Yeah, Faunra, bum stinging, has been admonished, and constructed new plans already for ensuring that the enemy may never again walk amongst them. And the matron and fellow sisters are going to work on that. At which point, one of them, through gritted teeth, is going to go to Cass and ask that she hand over the shroud, that they might try and uncover some level of its magics. That means a charismatic war sister is going to make a persuade attempt, but would anyone like to give her advantage on said check? To persuade Cass, hand over Blanky.
Will she be getting the blanket back after they've done, researching it?
Maybe.
Does it matter?
I think
on a personal level, it
yeah.
is still technically her grave shroud.
Yeah.
She would, when
Got
she actually
sentimental
passes,
value, okay.
yeah, when she actually passes away, she would like to be buried with this thing.
Yeah, I will give them assistance on the caveat that once they've finished researching it, that they return it back to Cass. It is
Sounds
her
good.
property after all.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So yes, let's see how you do a War Matron. A crit. Luckily, Cass is completely riddled with guilt. And yeah, hands over the blanket without a second thought.
As long as she's getting it back in the end.
Yep. And she promises, the War Matron promises that they will try. Although her expression is still somewhat stony, with realizations made apparent. On the other hand, Cass and Trist are looking all dopey and romantic. Oh no.
This is weird and strange for both of them. Help.
They hold hands. Although Cass is staggering and very, very pale. Trist will not yet show any signs of withdrawal hitting, but they're gonna hit like a truck.
Yeah, his body is not prepared for this.
Yeah, you got a couple days or a week or so.
He's got like 3 days.
Yeah, a couple days. Which means you're going to be hitting withdrawal right as we're going back to the holds for a little bit of recovery.
That's fine. Trist was already planning on not going to the Dragonhold. He was gonna go sit in the Galder's Tower with Cass.
I believe it's a little bit north of the tower of the hold.
Yeah.
So you'll still be traveling with them up to the hold's borders. Let's see here.
Yeah, we need to go to the ferry hold and then teleport out, I think.
Slide you over to the map.
Which we might as well buy up whatever oil slipperiness the ferry hold has on hand before we go to the dragon hold.
Sure.
I mean, I was planning off to the hair hold for the week to rest the arm. But yeah.
But yes,
Yeah,
you
we're
can
splitting up to our native holds here.
Yeah,
for
so
a
let's
week
just-
and then
Yeah,
back
yeah.
at the Dragon Hold to continue the adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to brag about being Bellatrix's chosen.
Oh yeah. Faunra, the matron and the rest of the assaulted company gonna look awkward, and you're like, oh, unfortunately, when you get back to the vineyard, it's going to be mostly empty because we're all here, and we, she gestures at the camp setup and the baluster and all that, have to boat all of this back. Do be a dear and check on the acolytes, would you?
Of course.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, they can just fucking leave and teleport. We should boat all of this shit.
I feel slightly bad for them.
I mean, Trist will absolutely volunteer to help them, like, pack all the stuff onto the boats.
Oh
they
yeah,
don't
yeah.
need his
Like you
help
guys,
to get on, from there.
yeah,
on,
yeah.
I'm sure.
Obviously not.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
they have wagon carts and they are body pulling them because again, it's basically Cult of the Muscle Milfs.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's still
So
gonna
anyone,
be, they're
so
still
the-
gonna be traveling with the whole week. Yeah.
Yeah, so they are going to be like chain pulling carts and like swapping off hands to get to the river and then everything onto barges. So you guys get to watch 24 glorious miles of sweaty muscle milf. However will you
Yay.
cope?
Just the fucking sigh. Just checking. Let's see. It's just 1 hex, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I can at least pull a cart by literally transforming into a pretty hefty beast of burden.
Yeah, I mean you can take a round off of them as well and be one of the rotates out, but in general that would work out well. Yeah, Hallie is still pretty fucking big herself. And if she wants to join in helping pull with the sisters, I mean, they would obviously be glad to have one of Embla's softer folk still show that she's got some muscle.
Tristan Russo.
Minotaur strong.
I can pretend I have muscle with disguise self, but
Oh yeah, you have the inflatable SpongeBob muscle suit.
yeah, even more so when I get
Literally,
I'm just actually a
You know-
shapeshifter.
Yeah.
yeah, but that's the thing. Literally, SpongeBob, because Bob doesn't really have muscles.
Yeah, you're actually doing that, like pretending you have
Yeah,
muscle.
I have 11 in the strength.
Yeah.
Still
I
better
mean,
than my
they
ants.
obviously got all of this stuff off of the barges before and got into the Lance Field, but they also had more time to set up. And they would like to return to the vineyard post haste. And they've got a boat through fucking Kingsea.
Hmm.
So, 1,
Is it possible to
2,
get the
3, 4. So it's going to be about 5 days for them to get to the vineyard, 6 including the walk down to the river in the first place. So
Yes,
just
like I
under
said,
a week they will arrive. You guys will have obviously been back there for like 4 days.
Okay,
Yep.
but is it possible to have a little chat with the former vampire and the thrall
Of course.
before departure?
Oh,
Yeah.
as well, Hedrah, this might be a good time to try and recruit some of these people to your cause and whatnot for like working
We
together.
talked. We
Oh yeah,
already
they already had
talked
that,
about it
that
last
Okay,
discussion.
okay. Right. Sorry, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have asserted that they already don't tend to keep more than like a couple actual druids in their fold. They're a religious order more than anything. But that does mean that occasionally, like, the promising hopeful will come by their way, particularly those of the male persuasion. Like, it's a sisterhood, so they will send people Bob's way. But they themselves are not about to go jumping ship because, again, religious order.
Understandable. That,
But if they
what
want
we
to come
figured out
visit,
last time.
Yeah. Obviously, they would love
Okay.
to visit the Grove of Executioners. That sounds sweet. That sounds like a holiday to the Orchids for sure.
Yes, but as you can understand, it's a road. It's not a camp. It's not fucking Camp Placid, the Lake Placid, fucking. It's not a summer camp.
For them, it might well be.
Oh well, comparatively, yes. But
Look,
official
Team Muscle
business.
Milf thinks that the sound of your play sounds sweet. It's certainly more
Oh, it
Tamish than
is.
Emblish, but it sounds real cool.
Mm. So, let's see, have a little chat here. Like, there comes a rapping on the tower door.
Trist would probably be the one in any condition to answer at the Goldust Tower then. Cass probably falls asleep a lot earlier than the others.
Who's there?
It's me.
Hello, little brother. Just will open the door.
Yep. Howdy ho there. Mind if I step in and have a chat?
Sure. Cassie's asleep, but what's on your mind?
Oh, she has a couple of years of lack of sleep to catch up with.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I will say that just steps in like tactically, what she did was stupid. That you can't deny.
Yeah, I sure wouldn't have done that in the middle of everybody, but oh well.
Yeah. And you guys, I'm actually really surprised nobody caught it.
Me too.
Or rather, the rest didn't catch it.
I had a feeling you knew. But
Yeah, when I said would take care of, I actually suspected her after she was clopping around in the middle of the night. But suspect is something. But you gave it away when you said, when I gave you those nice little bottles, because I said it would take care of the nightmares. Your words were, if only. So it wasn't nightmares, it was a nightmare.
actually, no. The thing is, Kareen's sword was psychically communicating with me, and through that I had a connection to Velt. That's where the magic nightmares were coming from. And if you get bit by a vampire, it's actually pretty sweet. I
Yeah,
mean that in a literal sense. It's you have a good night. It's strange.
what I do also know, yeah, but I also do notice the fact that, you know, that cut you just had, surprisingly gone for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it didn't take a lot of putting two and two together. So
I'm just surprised Ariel
that
didn't
was,
figure it out from her divine sensing all the
I
time.
know, I know. Like, what the fuck is going on? She was either she just completely missed it, or that thingamabob she got completely covered. And didn't Hallie like just spook a lot of undeads with cats in range?
Yeah, but it's not guaranteed to work every time. Strong will resists it. Cass is nothing if not strong-willed.
Yeah. Though I was rather, what's it called, agitated when the goddamn god of secrets was sniffing on me.
Oh, guess the deity of secrets doesn't like outing other people's secrets entirely.
Well, fucking thank you. Thank the gods, literally, for that. Sweet tit, sweet tits. Like, but yeah, I had your back. And sweet,
Well, on Cass's behalf, thank you, Bob. Glad this is behind us now.
let's hope so.
Now, I can
That's
tell you
the
for sure
thing.
there's no other vampires in our party, but I'll likely face more that are disguised like Cass was.
Well, I can literally keep an eye out all the time, everywhere. And best part, I can see ghosts.
Vampire's not a ghost, but yeah, you'll want to be detecting magic is the thing. That's the shroud Cass had was magic. If you'd pinged that off, Jig would have been up immediately. In fact, that's how I got her to confess to being a vampire to me. I took her out into a courtyard in the middle of the day and grabbed it and threatened to yank it off if she didn't fess up.
How romantic.
Look, she'd been lying the whole time. I was almost as upset as Faunra. Believe me, she's not the only one who has a big old hate boner
Oh,
all over the darkness.
I do not think you could have been as pissed as Faunra was.
You'd be surprised. The idea of vampires that weren't inherently evil hadn't really crossed my mind yet. And remember, my hometown was burned down by Velt. I thought he'd killed my parents, which, at least in one case, was true.
Not to sound like an asshole, but don't you have like part of your dad left somewhere?
I do have his hand, yes. It fell off of the body when it disintegrated, and I couldn't really bring myself to throw it away.
Well, I was thinking more like, given the fact that your dad banged your mom, would it mean he wasn't of small prominence?
What do you mean?
Well, your mother might have very loose taste, but she has taste in men of power, correct?
No, as far as I can tell, she just fucks anything.
Right. And your dad was just some random nobody then.
Basically. Well, not a random nobody. He was one of Velt's lieutenants, but
See, right there. And we both know that she banged Velt and
yeah.
the king.
Yeah. I mean, that's
And
just the tip of a very large iceberg. But yes, she's
yes,
been around.
did you manage to catch any of him before that went poof?
Yeah, kind of. Not enough to make a sentient item, and even if it was, it'd probably be insane. But I've got some essence. I slapped it in my shield.
Like just for storage or like actual?
Yeah, it's enchanted here. Tristan heft up his dragon shield and show it to Bob. Once a day now, it can throw me forward into battle and explode into a hail of thorns.
Edgy.
It runs in the family on both sides.
Well, speaking of family, if everything goes as well as it goes, well, your mother could be on the loose, so to speak.
Sounds like she actually is. I put a sending her way just about an hour ago, and yeah, it seems like she took Belle's offer this time.
Oh, nice. I was gonna say she's gonna enjoy the sun, and then I remember, but
Yeah, she's, as far as I know, still a vampire. I don't think Belle took one of those stakes, and even if she did, I'm not sure Morgan would actually accept it.
no, not yet. Probably.
Mm, yeah, let's go with that, for Faunra's sake.
You ever had this fucking nagging in the back of your head that you're missing something?
Yeah, pretty constantly.
Yeah. Mostly it's all these bits of information that we've been fed. I can understand propaganda and shit like that, but all this doesn't add up.
What all of this? There's
This
a lot of things in
fucking
the world that don't
war,
add up.
this fucking war on darkness and all that shit, it doesn't add up.
Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't. You want to know what I used to think, Bob, before I found out the king was a dragon? I'd become convinced sometime after we met Morgan right before we met Morgan, that the king was a vampire too, and this was all just a load of bullshit, this war, to keep the whole continent weakened so that they could both use all of us as a blood farm, get fat and rich off of us. Which I suppose still might be true, but I don't know what a
He's a
dragon would get out of it unless
king.
he's also a vampire too.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's a monarchy in general. They get fat off everyone
Well,
else.
sure, but people would probably revolt if they knew they were being used by a vampire. Or a dragon, for that matter.
Would they?
I think they'd try. Lord knows I would.
You literally
Well,
know that
then
there
as
is
we
a
said-
rebellion in King's Seat, remember?
Oh, there was something going on
What?
in King's Seat.
It was described as rebels, helping people sneak out of the city.
Yeah, so see, even not knowing that they're under the law of a dragon, people still rise up when the feeling takes them. Folk aren't as complacent as we give them shit for, you know. Common folk can make a difference. It's not just us knights out here.
No, there's a lot of things we carry around with us as well. But I don't know. It's just been rubbing the wrong way after like all these. There's a lot of whys in here, not a lot of answers.
Mm-hmm. The unfortunate truth is, the only people who could maybe answer some of this are Velthamar and the king. Maybe Morgans can shed some light on it, but I don't know. He's been out of the action for a while.
You know, you do not. Actually, I think there might be one more that's capable of answering.
Oh?
Your mom.
That's what I just said.
No, you said Morgan.
No, I said Morgan, which is my mom's name.
God damn it. Why the hell is everyone is like Morgan? Like that. Morgan? God damn it.
Well, I mean, they're from the same name, actually, but yes. Yeah.
Yes.
No,
and
I don't
like,
think
and
Morrigan, the goddess, would have any idea what the fuck's going on or any particular insight. Certainly, if she did, she wouldn't
oh,
share
she
it.
probably, you know, that's the point. They're gods. They probably know a whole lot fucking more than we do, but sure as hell not going to be telling us that.
Exactly. But yeah, when Morgan Mom gets her legs back under her, hopefully she'll be able to come down and shed some light on what the fuck's going on around here. Especially
Yeah.
now that Freed's back, that should give her some proper motivation to help out.
Well, it just makes wiggles in her hands, wiggles in her ancient, powerful magician. Woo.
Hey. He's more than
I
that.
wasn't saying that
She's
in a
lore
negative kind of
master. That's what matters.
Yeah. I still don't like Creed's goddamn partner. Shoot him in the fucking face like that.
You 100% deserve that.
Oh, really? It's my fault that they didn't clean their house.
It's your fault for being incredibly rude about it, yes.
So say if a dog took a shit on the floor in your house and you didn't clean up it, and somebody knows, like, hey, there's dog shit here. It's
Yeah,
your
and if
first
you keep
response to
saying it
shoot them in
over
the
and over and
face.
over again, and I say, no, I'm leaving that for
I
some
said
specific
it
reason.
once.
No, you didn't. You were being an
Yes, I
asshole
said.
over and over and over again. It's like when Ariel
No,
got her shit slapped by Waylon. You might not understand what you did, but you still did something.
Yes, and apparently I got shit for that because apparently it was very nice to interrupt my goddamn sentence, so it looked like it was my fault with the whaler.
Regardless.
Anyways,
Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing much we can do right now to figure out what this conspiracy is. We still lack critical information, and I don't see any way we're getting it without an inside source.
let's see, what we also lack is not just the source of all this part. What we lack is the fucking motivations.
I mean, we have some ideas of motivations. There's clearly some sort of lover's spat going on there. I'd hate to think that somehow Velt and the king fell out over my mom, but more likely it was Agriella, that bunny knight, Ariel's ancestor, and seemed to have sparked them off in the first place.
Yeah,
Now, the question following that is what the fuck's going on with Creed and Tammy?
yeah, since it seems like she was divine prior to getting stabbed with the Rangabonga.
Somehow, yeah, which surprised the fuck out of me. Seems like the king had some way of resurrecting someone into a deva, but how or why he'd do
Did
that
he?
on Creed of all people?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Creed had been dead over 100 years before she came back, right?
Mhm, more or less.
And then she got bonged with the Ranga way later. And then she was having that shard in her for over 100 years. Then she banged the dragon,
And something
which,
prophecy something Tammy.
yeah, just timely enough during the whole god depowerment that she could get knocked up by said dragon.
Mm-hmm. I wonder. There's got to be some connection between Sun being all fucked up and this prophecy Tammy's wrapped up in. Related somehow, certainly, but what's Tammy gonna have to do with the dragon and the sun? I wonder. And what is it the vampires hate more than anything? Sun. Hmm.
I do hope this is not some just massive, long plan eugenics project he's been running.
I don't think the king's running it. There's no way he could have known Creed and Queenie would have gotten together. That's too random. This man's a control freak. He wouldn't let things happen outside his specific influence, unless Queenie's like actually his daughter or something, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
Or, like, if he's, could have called her, like, like dragons can sense other dragons in a distance.
I don't think that's actually true, but it is possible, I suppose, that Queenie is somehow planted by the king. I just don't think that's particularly likely. No, I think the king has some kind of grand plan for sure, but I think it's gotten fucked up along the line. By Creed and now by Tammy wandering off rather than being used by him. Though exactly what for and why, I don't know. There's got to be more to it than just raising the perfect killing machine to kill Veld. The king ought to be able to just do that himself. He's an ancient gold fucking dragon. If he is what we suspect he is, he's closest thing to a god, shy of an actual god.
Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, let's just put the process on. I like to put the pieces on the table and see
Wait,
what we got.
whoa, hold on, Bob. Idea, thought. Velthermer.
Okay, hit me.
He's not just a vampire, though, is he? There's something else involved. He's part dragon,
yeah.
too. What fucking dragon, though?
What dragons?
I mean, where did he get his dragon part?
That's a good question. That should be in like your archives or shit like that.
No, it's not. That's the problem. Nothing about Velt's history is in the archives. It's all been purged. Alright. So, either it's just a random dragon unrelated to anything, which Occam's Razor says most likely. But it could also have
Curse
been...
you, Sir Occam of Razor.
Could also have been the king, someone related to the king, or someone related to Queenie.
So we got the king, we got Velt. Dragon infused, but vampire. But here's the thing, he was a vampire and the king knew about it, correct?
Correct. At the time, the king just didn't care.
So we get those pieces there, and then we look at what the fuck Tammy is. Gold Dragon, Bloodline of the Inspirus, which is Fae, Deva.
Which is Celestial Fey Dragon.
And a conduit for our dominion.
Yep, on top of all that. And a princess. Don't forget that. So, she may be adopted, but she is still the king's heir as far as we can tell. So,
Yes.
what a special snowflake.
Yes, but but just look at the pieces we have here. It's like, this is too perfect. And not only is it a gold dragon, it is a powerful fucking Fey blood, and it is a goddamn Deva of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And the specific Rogamidia is like really good at fucking up darkness.
Uh-huh. I mean,
So
Tammy is an incredibly potent weapon against the darkness, no doubt about it. The thing I just don't think is true is that the king intentionally brought this about specifically. I think he was definitely trying to create a weapon against Velt, but I think he got more than he bargained for.
Yeah, he wanted. What's the name? Weren't they slated? Weren't she slated for the Rongominiad bearer in the first place?
No. Creed falling in with Rongominiad was an accident. It was after
No,
she...
Creed and what was his name?
Adonis.
Arturus, Adonis.
Yeah, them falling in together was an accident. She'd already bailed on the king by then. Actually, if anyone's orchestrating this behind the scenes, I think it might be wrong of fucking Miniad.
That's a good thing, because why did it explode in the first place?
Hmm.
Like it wasn't subjected to massive darkness or anything like that. It was just sitting there. We took care of the fight.
Yeah. There's no reason for it to blow, and the only person its destruction impacted in any way, shape, and form, as far as we can tell, is Creed, who then went on to, after having Rongominiad buried inside her, shag a gold dragon, or half-gold dragon, and produce the perfect living conduit for Rongominiad's power. I have to wonder if Rongominiad might fuck.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it fucks.
And what? here's
Oh
the
man,
thing,
that
though.
spit fucks.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
you
that
think
spear
about
fucks,
the fact
man.
that wrong immediate is an item of legend and worship.
Uh-huh. And
The
now he's
more
got the
the
perfect
fucking,
conduit for himself.
and he already pissed a lot of even he pissed. What was it? What was the day? What they said?
They
The
said that
Morrigan said.
said they were upsetting the balance of power, or balance of the table of thing or whatever. I don't remember exactly.
The balance of the table of patrons. Yeah. Which is in balance when Rongominiad's not fucking here. The only person he's a warlock patron to is Ariel herself. And she is... Question is, what's she got to do with any of this? What does her bloodline have? Is the blood of Agriel, of course. Who's the person Velt's been trying all these years to turn into a lich with him. Maybe this is all a trap for Velt. Rongominiad's been pulling off this whole time.
Threads here, threads there, everything's spinning.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of the fucking
Like
web,
this.
alright.
Yeah. Don't like this.
No.
Because all these threads are wind up around the necks of people we know. And if one tightens, snip goes that neck.
Yeah. You know, it's not a fucking coincidence that Ariel's the spitting image of Agriella. She's the first person Rongo's been a patron to we've ever encountered. Not a coincidence that Rongominiad exploded into Creed, creating the perfect conduit for Rongominiad's power. No, we're heading towards a Thunderhead, alright. Something's about to happen. We just need to figure out what the
Yes.
who's actually manipulating these events. Is it Rongo? Is it Velt? Is it the king? Maybe it's all three or none. We just don't have enough information yet. Maybe
Let's just, okay. Let's
when
step back
Morgan
and
is
look
back,
at this.
we should talk to the king.
Yes. Let's just step also back and let's look at the piece that we have further. Who stands to benefit from it? Right now, the strongest candidate is Rongominiad, just straight up.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if the king serves Rongominiad.
He knew, and wait. You know that poison blade that broke that the king was poisoned with. What
Mm-hmm.
happened to the other piece?
I don't know. Presumably it broke off inside the king.
Yeah, but it sure as fucking hell wouldn't have stayed there. You had to take it out.
Yeah, maybe. Man's a fucking dragon. He might not really give a shit about a tiny shard of a dagger being stuck in him somewhere.
Well, the thing was the fact that it almost killed him. It was meant to kill him. Remember?
Yeah, I know. But it lost its charge after that. It became a Velt-killing knife. Like it's
Yeah.
reversed polarity.
Why?
Well,
Yeah.
that is a good
Why?
question.
See? Like, okay, it became suddenly a weapon that will want to fucking murder Velt. Where's the piece that's missing? And why the fuck did I switch like that?
Imagine it's something to do with the king. When it's exposed to a divine gold dragon, maybe it swapped on itself, a reaction to his magic. Or maybe it's Rongo's doing. Hell, I'd like to know where all of these arms of light came from. What makes an arm of light an arm of light? Because it's clearly not any actual association with anything good, after all.
Oh yeah, that fucking got what was it? Like
The
the
Heart
heart
Crafter.
of justice my ass.
Yeah. Trying to pretend there's an actual difference between an arm of darkness and an arm of light is just fooling ourselves.
No, there is actual tangible difference. One doesn't fucking corrupt.
Does it though? Look what that chalice did to Lily. It sucked away all of her divine powers. Look at the dagger that broke off in the king. It's become a weapon of unrestrained bloodthirst. Look at the heart.
For a single target.
Sure, from a single target,
Yeah.
but still.
The cloak though, explain that one.
Well, not all arms of darkness are inherently corruptive. There's some that just don't seem to have
Yeah,
that.
but we have yet to find one of those, but they're magical items, and then there's things made of beast of darknesses.
Yeah, I mean, none of the arms of light, quote unquote, have been made of dark beast parts. And they still are, excepting the cloak, I suppose. Still pretty gnarly things in their own right. Sure would like to know who made a bunch of these. This knife specifically. That might be something we could find out in King's Seat. Or the Legend Lore spell.
Your mom,
Yeah, maybe Mom will know.
she is literally the only prominent living source of information from those ages.
Yeah, certainly the only one I trust implicitly.
Yeah, she was pretty much one alive when those things were made, wasn't she?
She would have been, yeah. As far as I can tell, Mom was around long before any of that. It was around before Velt became what he is. Any of that. Yeah, alright, let's table this until Morgan gets back. You can ask her directly. Try and actually drill down to what the fuck's going on. If anyone's gonna know other than the king and Velt, it's her.
Yeah. I can't really not keep my eye out, but You do
Keep
it.
your ear to the
You do
ground.
yourself. You do that just. That's yeah. Probably my ears or my hearing and everything else. You know what's the worst part about being a goddamn druid?
Hmm.
Is that when you transform into other animals, is that you learn how their sense of smell works, how their taste works, how their hearing works. And then you remember it. That sort of transfers over a little bit. So right now I could literally hear your heartbeat from here. My senses are that good.
That's got to be obnoxious.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just keep our eyes and ears peeled for anything that comes up first. If you can, I mean, hell, you're going back to the fairy hold for a couple days at least while Ariel's recovering. Maybe you could ask the fairy queen. She might know more than she's letting on. She's probably older than all of us combined, including Velt and the king.
Yeah, that's true, but if she's given her word, there's literally nothing on these planes that can budge that.
Sure. And I'm sure you can find some angles of attack, so to speak.
Oh, sure, probably, but like I said, if she's given a promise, there literally only divine intervention can actually budge that.
Oh, I know. Still, might be worth a risk, and it would be a risk. She is loyal to the king, after all.
Yes, yes, she is. That kind of loyalty is pretty shatterproof.
Well, let's not make assumptions, but yes. You shouldn't expect any of the grandmasters to take our side over the king's. Even believe us or
I know, we're
fail
not
to
looking
report
for.
us.
I'm not looking to stir the nest in that kind of way. I'm looking for
Just calm
answers to
information. Yeah.
what makes an arm of light an arm of light.
Yeah. Try and ask her that. Let's see how it goes. Alright. I'm gonna go check on Cass, make sure she's
Okay.
alright. Good talk, Bobo.
Yeah, you do that. I got some wagons to pull.
Crystal just ruffle Bob's
Take care.
hair. See him out.
When you close the door and turn around, you'd have expected Cassie to have been listening closely to what is actually a very interesting conversation, but she's like on her back and snoring.
No, that's exactly what I expected. Yeah.
Yeah. I've opened up your mother's sheet just to see that she does have things like legend, lore, etc. And I just realized that her spell list is just drugs. It's drugs straight to the brain.
Artwizard.
She has true polymorph, Artwizard, Artwizard!
Mom, turn me into a dragon.
You could actually be a dragon. You'd be like a worm. No, not a wormling, just a young dragon or something like that.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
true
a wormling.
polymorph would be
I mean, yeah, actually she could. I just realized that true polymorph could indefinitely be used to, like, juice you up until you hit 0. That would be amazing if in your time of need, after a month has passed, just fucking Dragon Trist flies down upon you.
Tris decided to fight Velt's fire with fire. And if he can't be a vampire, he'll be a fucking dragon instead.
I don't
Remember
think-
that Morgan did try doing that.
Yeah, I don't think being a young dragon would help you much against
Look,
him.
he's part red dragon, right? So just be a different kind of dragon. So I don't breathe fire on
A
him.
Sure.
green dragon is challenge rating 8. A young green dragon.
See?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A
Breathe
young dragon
poison on
wouldn't
the
help you
vampire.
much.
Yeah, that'll work real good.
I think you're more
that was
powerful
the first
as
one I had.
I think you're more powerful as an actual like human than you would be as a dragon.
Look, that's the one I opened up to.
Look, the dragon is just an extra bank of hit points.
It's not in true polymorph though.
It is, yeah. When a creature drops 0, even when they're true polymorph, they revert to normal form.
I think that's only if they die they revert to normal form in true polymorph.
Nope. Oh,
So technically, Mers and I were discussing this recently because of Arishka. It turns out there's actually, depending on which book you're reading, there's no way to get rid of true polymorph. It's forever. So we just decided that if you hit 0, it works like normal polymorph, and you just carry over.
Kind of defeats the purpose of true polymorph, doesn't it?
No, not really. I mean, just don't go to 0, idiot.
like, I imagine Erishka's either trying to figure out a way to circumvent the drop to 0 rule, or
Arishka
is
hasn't
just
fucking gone to
making...
0 hit points in 1,300 years. He didn't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I imagine that, though, that would be the one thing to be paranoid about now that you finally have everything you want. Either she's going to be figuring out how to get her hands on extra true polymorphs just in case, or
What level is True
Death
Polymorph?
Ward stuff.
Like
Level 9.
Yeah. Is it level 9? Jesus.
Just
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
fucking just rip some fucking white lightning and fucking make a scroll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she probably could actually
She's
do
got the
that.
HP pool to tank that shit, no problem.
And she is an Archwizard now, so she can actually just learn it.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Anyway,
Give Arishka, give Arishka a Death Ward and a fat line of blue lightning, and I guess she could write you True Polymorph again, just in case.
I will say this: young bronze and green dragon are the same challenge rating of 8.
I think bronze is lightning. Wait, no.
no, bronze has like a
Yeah,
slow
bronze is
breath or
lightning.
something.
Bronze has
Lightning-
like
No, bronze is
lightning.
lightning.
And Slack.
Yeah, bronze are cool dragon. I like that.
Yeah.
No, lightning and repulsion breath, which is a blast back.
Sick.
40 feet. Wow.
Yep.
That's
Anyway,
enough better than
anyways,
half.
Sorry, yes, yeah. Falling down the hole here. If you want, while Trist is going through absolute hell over the course of the month, you can try and figure out some weird shit. Let's see here. What else has she got? Control weather. That's always fun.
Yeah, quick, just
She's
screenshot
plain-
her
Oh,
spell list to me.
gosh.
Let me see what memes I can pull off.
Plane shift.
Oh my god. Ma!
Oh no.
I mean, she tried plane shift. It
shit,
didn't
that
get her
means-
out. She a lot of her spells are like really wild ones for either conjuring, binding, or making agreements with powerful fae or demons.
She can just open a door to Elysium.
Yes, she can literally Alicia Gate.
Alright, fuck this Galder's Tower. Let's just go spend a month in Elysium, Mom. Come on.
There are probably rules in place, like she would be like a stifled diplomat because she's not an Elysian native and she's fae touched.
Being a diplomat is great. You can go commit crimes and don't get to do anything about it.
Woo! Crimes!
Diplomatic immunity. I cannot do the whole
Yeah,
German
except if she
South
gets up to
African.
shit, then it's the continent of Ceres that's to foot the bill, and I don't think that she wants to get in trouble with the gods when the receipts come in for all the damages when she wrecks a hotel. Yeah. Control weather's fun. She's got anti-magic field. Again, like she tried that, it didn't work. she is not allowed access to Wish. She has access to Time Stop and Power Word Kill.
Oh god. Yeah, that would have been really bad for Faunra.
Yeah, no, and of course Disintegrate. So she could just upcast a Disintegrate to 9 instead.
That's much less effective than just casting Powered Kill and just no save you die.
True, but at the same time,
Jesus
it is a big alpha move to turn someone to dust.
Bzzzt. Faunra pulls her sword and charges Morgan, and she just fucking Dr. Manhattan swipes. Pop.
I mean, one more level and Power Word Kill is not an instant death sentence to Faunra.
That is true. Zealot is dope like that.
Like it's what 101 hit points.
Yeah, something like that.
Faunra has 101 hit points right now.
Jesus. And yeah, it's 100 hit points or fewer it dies. Otherwise, the spell has no effect. Yay! So yeah, she would have to disintegrate you and then Power Word Kill you.
She could do a level 8 Disintegrate and then a level 9 Power Word Kill. Actually, how much can you cast inside a Time Stop?
Well, if you cast it on somebody else, it just ends.
You can't do spells that hurt someone in a time stop.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
I
they-
guess
they
what
normally
she
do
could do is
Wait.
Time Stop and then Plane Shift out. He just
Well, no,
blinks
she
back to
could-
reality and she's gone.
No,
She could delay Fireball.
Yeah, she could cast
Yes.
like 6
Yeah.
delay fireballs just in a circle around.
It's
Step back.
1d4 plus 1 delayed fireballs.
Okay, well, it's still.
And
That is
anyways,
the fun trick.
shall we get a?
Yes, sorry, yes. Let us continue on. I've looked over Morgan, and she is currently now back in her sex mansion. Like she managed to breathe fresh air. She whispers an apology to Astriel's grave as she drops a mansion down right next to it.
You'd think she'd want to get a little further away from there just in case Velt comes
Well,
around,
you don't-
but okay.
Like drop a mansion. You do open like a portal to a mansion or something like that, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, the
That's how
mansion
that spell
doesn't
works, yeah.
physically
Your mom
exist, I
might
don't think.
actually just be like, "Come at me, bitch."
And Velt put her in the fucking hole in the first place.
Yeah, I don't think she's eager to repeat that.
No, yeah, she doesn't want to do so unprepared. I guess she's never really told you the tale of how her fucking fight with Velt went down.
No, I mean, like, Christy was kind of there, but I imagine having the baby to protect was something of a handicap.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There was
one more
more
thing
to
for
it than
Morgan's
that,
story
though.
time when she comes
Yeah.
and picks me up from the pool.
Yep, she's finally back from getting milk.
Finally
Mom
got her
stepped out for
cigarettes and
cigarettes
came back.
15 years
She
ago.
left for cigarettes. Oh no. Fuck.
That's basically how Tristan's story goes. Yeah, Mom and Dad went for cigarettes one day. And then Velt
Anyway.
burned the store down while they were in it.
Yep. So, the party awakens on a fresh morning. Trist, you have like a jaw ache and you aren't 100% sure why. You have no idea currently that your body is starting to harvest the last of the vampiric blood it has been graced. But it becomes readily apparent to you that you're on a timer.
Oh.
Yeah. Cass herself is looking very weak and trembly, but she will step out into the open. Gulda's Tower is still sat there Gulda's Towering because you can't just say goodbye Gulda's Tower.
Well, how are you feeling?
She looks up at the sun and you can see that she's just wearing like probably just a nightshirt and has not got her blanket on her back. Pretty good. The sun is brighter than I remember it being. When you're wearing the shroud, it sort of casts daylight in twilight. I don't know how best to put it.
Hmm. Well, let's get you back
I
used to it
feel,
then.
of course, like absolute shit, and I probably will do for a little while. My heart is beating now, which is making all of my insides hurt.
Yeah, I got a
Because,
feeling I'm not going to be doing great pretty soon either.
oh, God, probably not. No, I've never seen someone, a ghoul in withdrawal.
Well, hopefully I don't die.
I don't think you'll die, but it's probably going to be just the worst time ever. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. For you, worth.
Aw. I mean, I obviously can't help but being guilty still.
It's all right, Cass. It's all right. I don't blame you for a thing.
You should, though.
It's just kind of shrugs. And yet.
She sighs and will go along and have some breakfast. Well, she manages like a bit of breakfast before giving up and just opting for making an apple smoothie, which she will sip. Obviously, I've been using my stomach, but at the same time, again, it's not used to actually doing anything.
She's going to be eating porridge for a while.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, she has to relearn how to eat again, basically.
Yeah, like she's obviously been eating with your party this entire time, but that was very much going through the motions. That wasn't doing things like delivering
Wasn't really digesting
fucking
it.
yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't
wasn't
delivering
digesting.
nutrients to her body, and like all of her veins, arteries, all that stuff completely atrophied. Like it's alive again, but I don't know if any of you have been like put on an IV when they were dehydrated or something. Like the moment an IV drops into you, it hurts for like, I don't know, a good minute as cold passes through your body.
Yep.
Sorry,
That's
yeah.
it.
Stop it.
For mortals at least, Hedrah. But yes, her body's doing the hot equivalent of that. Like it's just moving through her body, and it's weird and very painful.
Okay. I've had a substantial amount of IVs that just felt.
Yeah, I imagine for you
Yeah.
it's very different when you don't quite have like the same degree of nerve signals. Although I figured you'd still recognize a change in temperature internally. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I can register that. I feel like, oh, that's a cool sensation in the arm, and then that's it.
Fair enough. Imagine, I guess, that was also accompanied with the sensation of pain. Is the best way I can put it. Like a prickling sensation, but on the degree of hurting.
Okay.
Fair. Moving on from there. Then you all get to watch a glorious day of muscle milfs push the cart.
Yeah.
The Black Knights as well will follow along, but they have, steeds. And they're all glorious, like incandescent steeds. They look real good. Oh, Tristy, you big old softy buns. But also, she will tell you that her legs might give out if she tries carrying extra weight on her.
That's
Because again,
why he's not.
her muscles are working properly instead of just being animate.
Yeah, I think she's gonna spend the month getting herself back together, isn't she?
No, for her, it is just a week.
Oh, it's just a week for her. That's good.
Yep, her recovery is a week. Trist's is the one that's a month. Yeah. Eventually, you make it to the barge, although for you guys, it's a river crossing down to the ferry hold.
Indeed. I will.
The knights and orchids both will make sure everyone is well seen off to.
Yeah, I'll wish the orchids safe travels back to their. I guess monastery is the best word for it.
The area is the vineyard, and it is a monastery in the vineyard.
Yeah. I'll wish them best luck on their way back to their monastery.
Bye, friends. Big sis keep you.
And you can tell like half of them are like, and you precious moo. Oh, but they're doing their stoic big sister thing, nodding. Ali is the everything they protect. Bob, you get fist bumps, they make your wrist ache. Bonk.
Well, now I actually remember, I'm pretty fucking solid.
That's true,
I
actually,
may not be
yeah. It's
strong,
your
but it's-
constitution is fine, you aren't strong, so your hand gets blown back, but it doesn't hurt.
I do. When I blow back, I spin around and just finger guns to recover.
Give me a deception. Try and play that off cool
boy.
instead of like twig.
How about the performance?
No.
Okay,
Nice try.
deception. Well, that's hopefully.
Yeah, just roll high.
Just roll high.
Alright.
12.
Unfortunately, they're all clerics, so their insight balls incredibly high. So they recognize it, but at the same time, you don't make an ass of yourself with the maneuver. Like, it is enough that their, like, up nod of recognition isn't just them trying to save you face. It's just like yeah, fair. Bob knows he's stick. When they all feck. And then the rest of the party can travel down to the ferry hold. Over the course of a week, they can produce more oil of slipperiness. Probably enough to get one going for each of you in your party. I can't remember how much it costs.
It is 30
Barely anything.
electrum.
Sweet. Yeah, they don't overcharge. They'll get 30 electrum apart, and they'll put it all together for you.
Okay. I'll put my 15 gold in for that. Or, yeah, 30 electrum there. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll take off my electrum.
30 luck is 15 gold.
That way I don't have to do massive changes to my gold. Just take off 30 electrum.
Yep.
Oh, that's paled off.
And yeah, the rest of the party will begin to split their various ways. At least for a week. I'm just gonna drop you all in King Seat as a central, like, you guys are everywhere right now.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any plans for the week that they are either just idle or in recovery?
Yeah. I know I put it down in our chat. I just forget what skill I was trying. Oh, perception.
Yeah.
Perception training? Cool.
Yeah.
I'll be doing
7 out. It's 50 days, right? To get
Expertise.
Yeah, to get
Yeah.
expertise.
Yeah, I already,
Or training
yeah,
in general in the skill.
I already have it, but I figured I have 8 in perception. Might as well go as far as I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll write that down. There's a handout for this, right? Downtime actions.
Yeah. Downtime actions handout.
I'm going to spend the week training insight, and I'm going to get that glove made.
I'll be spending 6 days doing alchemy note training.
Alright. What does detect? What is detect?
Detect undead or something like that? Probably like a first level spell.
I don't know if that is even a spell.
Well, like, because the normal detect spell doesn't work on.
Oh, detect evil and good.
Let's have a look at.
It's first level divination.
You know, if they're within 30 feet of you, and you want to have it cranked down to 5 feet.
Just down to 5 feet, but specifically for just undead.
It's not strictly very powerful. I can't imagine that being too difficult to have enchanted. The Hairhole probably has some wizards. Or you could put a request in for Trist's mum to make it for you. She would know. She is the one who created the veils in the first place.
That would be kind of
I
funny.
don't think Faunra would do that though.
I don't know. She's supposed to be on their side, so to speak. And again, she's the one who made the veils in the first place.
Yeah, that's true.
She's not a vampire anymore. I don't have my oath to destroy her.
Yep. And she is now officially the most powerful wizard you know.
I mean,
Although
she
I
is a
suspect-
vampire still. What are you talking about?
She's still technically a vampire,
No,
yeah.
she is still a vampire. I still have my oath to kill her then. Until she's no longer a vampire.
Yeah, I'm not taking you anywhere near my mom, to be honest.
And I'll just get someone else to do that.
Okay. Let's see here. The cost will be slightly higher because, again, not fucking Archmagister.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hmm. I'm not sure how much it should cost.
I don't think it costs a lot. I mean, it's only like a downscaled version of a first level spell.
It does have light attached to it as well. The
So, like,
reaction to
uncommon.
That's like a
Uncommon, yeah.
cantrip as well.
It is
Like,
a cantrip, but that is 2 spells as an enchantment on an item.
Yeah, but they're I guess it's just they're not
Again,
very...
there is a multiplier for complexity as well as a base charge based on level.
Yeah.
So it's then they're neither of them are high numbers, but they do multiply. So uncommon magic item.
That's what I would say.
Okay. Probably like lower middling range of uncommon gold. I forgot that there are. I opened up my pins and like, oh yeah, the Hassan coins. They have their vending machine of goodies for murder. Yeah, like 200 gold.
Okay. Would anyone mind if I used the Residium in our party loot for this?
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Go nuts.
Okay.
Don't go too nuts, though.
You have to buy like a masterwork glove of some kind. How much is fucking noble clothing in this?
I think 10 GP for like noble clothing. They're clothes fine.
It's 15 gold for fine clothes, so we'll call it 5 for the fancy glove with probably inlaid silver and lecky. So 205 gold.
Okay.
Cool. Let's make a little handout for you. Just quick crank this out. There you go.
Neat.
It will pierce effects as per detect good and evil, and then greater effects of non-detection will have to make constant tests in your presence.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Damn it, now Bob has to do a lot of saves.
What?
Yet secretly, Bob was always undead.
Yep.
Bob was a vampire.
Secretly, Bob was Incubus.
No,
It's
it's
not
only
undead.
detecting undead.
Incubus aren't undead.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
That's the reason
I
it's so
only heard
turned. It is
detect.
like a narrow focus. So as opposed to 30 feet, it's been scrunched down to 5, and opposed to good and evil and consecration, etc. Just undead.
It doesn't because with it 30 feet doesn't really help if you're in
No.
a crowd of people.
It really
Exactly.
doesn't.
All right,
It's
so
not a flaw, it's a
that is-
feature.
Yep. That is the globe. What else?
I got things.
Ariel, the moment you arrive at the hair hold with your arm in a fucking sling, you're pampered.
Of course she is. It's the buns.
Yeah. But I will make a little private audience with Mom and show off.
She will insist no private audiences until you've gone into surgery, young lady.
All right, fine. But I do have good news from all this.
Well then, I will be excited to hear it after you've been fixed up.
Okay. I'll just head off on to the surgery then whenever that's booked for me.
Probably pretty immediately. Like they'll get you all hooked up in triage and bung you into surgery. Could I get a Constitution save?
Okay.
We'll find out how long you were in surgery, and we'll put it on you as opposed to me having to roll a fucking list of medical checks again.
I'll ignore the bless, but 15.
15. Okay. So, yeah, them, like, basically pinning together every bone in your arm takes surprisingly not long. It's like 5 hours of work. And when you come out the other side, you are just all drugs.
Yeah. She'll stay down a little while and let the drugs wear off somewhat before keeping the arm in the sling probably and going on back up there.
Sling nothing. They do in fact put you in a cast.
Yeah, okay.
It may have been a very strangely clean break, the doctor will insist. Everywhere, I mean, down the middle, there are no fragments. And you were very well splintered at the time.
Luckily
Was it just
so.
the 3 bones in the arm, or was it the whole hand?
It was
Every bone,
every
all
single
the way
bone
down,
in the arm.
like fingies too, those have all been
Okay.
pinned.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, like she
Yeah.
probably has, if not for the fact that they get to seal her back up with magic straight afterwards, she'd have scars running from the tips of her fingers all the way down the entire inside of her arm, all the way down up to the shoulder, which would look metal as fuck, don't get me wrong.
But ow!
Ow.
Yeah, her hand must be absolutely
Yeah,
fucking painful.
Yeah.
So currently Ariel is mostly painkillers, and her arm is in a full cast because they are not going to let you dare move that fucking thing. Even your fingers are casted. They are all straight out and casted. You're not allowed to move this and risk ruining their perfect work if you want to be in motion again in a week's time.
Yeah, no, I don't blame him. And I fully agree with that being casted as much so I can't move it at all, basically.
Hmm. On your walk from surgery, still high as balls, to meeting with your mother, you do in fact get a whole bunch of lipstick prints on your cast.
It's their way of signing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been in a cast. The worst I've ever been is I'd have my chin glued together after it got split open on the bottom of a pool.
One time I
And
was
bit through my
re-
tongue.
one time I was real close to shattering my wrist. And you want to know what the cool kid thing I did to do that was?
Trip over on the ice.
Nah, what? Close. I was at winter camp and I was running around on the paintball field and I sprinted into you're told not to run around, right? Because there's snow everywhere and some place. Yeah, first of all, you're not supposed to run on a paintball field anyways, but there's snow everywhere and you can fall and stuff like that because you'll just fall through the snow. These are things that I never knew about snow.
Right.
And this was the year I went up to winter camp in sneakers
Yeah.
and jeans. And yeah, so I ran out and then I went flump through the snow. And it turns out that on the paintball field, they had a little culvert with those big cement, what are they called? Drainage pipes that you could hide in, like
Yeah.
because it would be used during the summer too, so you could hide in and like shoot out of. And I just fell through the lightly padded snow straight through there and then landed on my wrist.
Owie.
And that's how I got a ride. Well, because winter camp was up near Mount Lassen, and so I had to take a ride for like 2 hours down to the nearest city to get stitched up. And that's how I got home from winter camp 4 days early.
Sucks,
Okay, then.
Werehare. Oh, oh god, Faunra's just alone with all the acolytes.
Yeah, she will be. Yeah, I will enter into the office.
Are you sure you should be up right now?
Probably not the most best idea, but still, I did promise good news.
Yes, yes.
I will, and let's see. Best way to demonstrate would be a bit of a show, as I reach down to my side and pull out from the sheath the bladeless Caliban.
Oh. It's been smashed?
Broken off in the fight.
Ah, I see. And did it work?
I will give it a swish with my good hand, as the blade will come to life.
I'll be damned.
Imperfect as it is for now.
Imperfect. You have a magic blade of light. What's the imperfect part?
It lasts for a meager 10 minutes per day.
Oh, okay. That is probably a little bit damning. You just have to make sure you kill everything in 10 minutes.
I have a feeling it will become more solid once I retrieve the scabbard to it.
Ah, I see. You're still missing the scabbard. Right. Well, that should be on one of your next destinations, yes?
Yes, I believe it will be after we take care of the beast and check out this mimic dungeon.
And she squints. I've heard funny things about that dungeon.
Funny how.
Um, hmm. I don't know, as not very much corroborational evidence, but some say on the moors out there, one can see furniture walk across the hill and vanish.
That sounds about right.
Mhm.
I'm
I know what the dungeon's entrance is supposed to look like. Not that I've gone up there to see it or sent anyone there, because it's supposed to be a hive of mimics.
Yes. Tiana has a need to go there. I'm unsure as to why or what she hopes to get from it, but regardless, we're going down that way.
Well, do be sure to record the stories. And oh, you should get Oil of Slipperiness. It'd be a good idea.
Already prepared. I have people at Tiana's hold making it.
Ah, excellent.
Ye-
I mean, we have a couple ourselves as well. She just like leans under the desk and pulls out a jar, and we'll fill a potion bottle of it for you and toss it over. Actually, no, she won't toss it over. You're drunk. You're high as balls. You will definitely
Yeah,
not
I
catch
will
it.
miss that.
You will not be able to catch it.
Yeah.
She will instead place it down gently on the edge of the desk, and then return the jar to its place under her cupboard.
I am not surprised we have some of this just lying around.
It's very important. You never know, and you
Indeed.
might get stuck.
Mm-hmm. That said, she'll lean in and give a hug. I'm going to go lay down. I'm sure these
Yes.
painkillers are going to wear off here and eventually, and I don't want to be standing for that.
No, I imagine not. Go get comfortable. I'll have someone bring you dinner.
Thank you so much. As always, love you and see you later.
I love you too, sweetie. And now, Faunra,
Oh, yes, hi.
as you arrive down at the orchard and the vineyard, you find that there are... It looks like in the absence of seniors, the acolytes have gone a little bit school's out for summer.
They had a party.
They got
Yeah.
a little bit stir crazy.
Yeah. You arrive and there's just like fucking just drunk teens. You were one of these drunk teens once.
I was. And doing as my seniors did in the past, I will go and acquire a not necessarily a gong, but a set of brass plates, and start banging them together.
Of course. Alright, there are yelps of surprises, groans of pain, and people just scrabbling and scrambling and trying desperately to get away from the sound of the hurt noise.
Get up, you lazy kid!
Tiara, hands over ears, is smirking to herself. I thought you were going to grab the bucket and fill it with water.
Oh, this is much more. This is much worse.
Yeah, and it definitely does result in a larger number of them.
That's the spirit. Get all
No.
the terrible things out of you.
Those are the spirits leaving me. No, vomit is good times leaving the body if it's from drinking.
Same thing if you're a fucking orchid.
Yeah.
No good times, only grub.
Assemble. You're all going to get water, and then we're going to start doing some light exercises after you've gotten water.
It's just suffering. They get water. They get water and stretches. It's time to suffer with their constitution scores of like 11.
Water will just make you vomit more.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
It doesn't stay down. It just makes you more nauseous.
Yep.
I think that's the point Faunra is doing with.
They are they are being punished for being bad kids and having a raucous fucking drunken party the moment the seniors are gone.
And that's how you send people into alcoholic seizure. I would know.
This is true.
Honor
Luckily, they
wouldn't,
are
though.
all. Yeah, luckily they're all like fucking 15 and 16-year-old, which means they're all invincible. I don't know if you've ever seen a teenager, but they are stupid, indestructible idiots. So they will all bounce back. Faunra has been here. These children have been here, and others in the future will be here.
It's a rite of passage.
Yep. And eventually you're able to get these rowdy children back in line again. The matrons probably knew it would be like this and looked forward to the idea of you doing as they once did.
And then after that, after they are allowed to lay down, the Faunra will see about getting them something to eat, something simple to eat, like some oatmeal.
They all want a big breakfast.
And cold water rags, yes.
Yeah, now all I can think of is the Big Breakfast song. There you go. Drop that into chefs. But yes, you're able to get them all together. Let's see here. In the fairy hold, much preparation is done as far as oils being put together, and there are wild tales to tell, Tajana.
Yes.
What do? There are a number of sprightly fae about, but otherwise, like, you've been gone for not massively long, so it's been
No,
business as usual here in the meantime.
Yep. So I've got whole things to brag about, but also I'm doing like 4 days of 4 days of intimidation training. Yeah.
Just practicing mean mugging yourself in the fucking mirror.
Basically, yeah.
Feeling lucky, punk.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, yeah, so anyway, that's 4 days, and then the other 3 days I want to do some research lore. If I'm gonna be Bellatrix's chosen, I'm gonna do it right. So
Yeah, it seems
guess I'm just
perfectly
gonna be
reasonable.
researching
And yeah,
lore.
would you like to give a performance check for your
Yeah, sure.
grandiose retelling of the battle?
It's a 14, which I assume is turned into a 19.
It's more than that. You have got assistance from Bob, so it's a 15.
Ah, so 20.
Which becomes 20. Yeah. It is quite the grand retelling.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not gonna scare any Fae with the intimidation training, so that's mostly gonna be done solo.
Yeah, you're gonna watch everyone watch you try and be the scary meow, and you're like pulling faces, and admittedly, yeah, you have the mimic teeth. You can pull some really great faces, but to you, they've just always been faces.
Yeah.
Like,
Now
I
she's
don't know which
actually
of
trying to
these
be
is
scary.
I don't know which of these is scary or I'm smiling.
Yeah, so she's just practicing that, really. Then I guess I roll a religion for the research lore.
Yeah.
$11, so.
What in particular would you like to know? You get one question.
Let's see. I think looking into what aspects of war does Bellatrix most associate herself with?
Let's see here. She likes valiant, honorable combat and like lives on the line, wholesale slaughter, both in their own recommended ways. Up in the north, she's a big fan of like the Raider Jarls and
Uh,
down here in the Western Chivalric, she's thought of as the like I suppose the closest way to put it is like the noble sacrifice against the darkness, like the idea of being these people signed up to stem a tide that is far greater than them. So it's I suppose it's slightly more martyrdom-esque.
Of course.
How our tenants would look here in the shivs. But
Basically,
it is
Faunra.
still, yeah, it is still war in all of its precepts. But yes, Faunra is like the image of what Bell here stands for, which is quite amusing to me still.
Because she's so Embla.
So Embla. So indoctrinated that Bell's like, what the this is not whatever.
She's been arguing with She's been arguing with Embla for like years about Faunra. Just imagine.
I mean, about the entire Orchid Order, probably.
Yeah, they all do.
Really.
Like, you got a very cool group, in which Embla's like, that's what your whole of your group is like. Don't be greedy.
Faunra vibrates. It's her arm, yeah.
Yeah, it's just your arm.
But yeah,
You must
that's
have
how.
accidentally pressed a switch on it.
But yeah, that's how I like to think that Hallie is training her perception score, getting her expertise.
Hanging out in the hair hold and playing with the bunnies.
Yeah, hide and go seek.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
That's what that's what Jason was doing when he was training perception.
Hide and go seek is an
Expertising
important
it,
skill.
yeah.
LOA kept playing hide and go seek with her younger half sister and always lost. I don't think she won a single. I don't think she won a single time against a 10-year-old.
That makes sense. Anyway, let's see here.
Anyway, I guess I'd just like to see how much oil of Sabrina's can be made in a week, really.
They'll have multiple alchemists. They will work on making sure they can produce at least one for each of the party members.
Yeah.
So it's what?
We need 10
9?
total for the whole part. Well, we need 10 because we got a large size creature.
Right. Wait, no, you don't. Not for this. Cass isn't
What?
coming. She's staying.
Oh,
with
right.
Tris.
Cass isn't coming. I keep forgetting already. Yeah, so we only need like 8 even.
Yeah.
We're going to have a... We're going to have an
8.
extra in Kiri.
Yep. They can probably produce 7 and then have an extra one in stock that they also can sell to you.
We
That
do
sounds
not,
right, yeah.
Yeah, we don't know that Tristan isn't coming quite yet. But yeah.
I'm sure Trist would have said when we.
Oh,
Said,
yeah,
like,
okay.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
not
alright,
gonna
that
be
makes
in.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
for it.
fucked, guys. I'm gonna sit this one out. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm just... Still, I'll buy the one in stock and have 7 made anyway, yeah.
Cool and cool.
And will it cost extra to have them made at all, or?
Listen, Tristy, all you gotta do is emulate Sherlock Holmes for like a month. And just lay back in an opium den.
Oh, thanks.
You won't remember anything.
Yeah, whenever I think you only have to pay, or you should only have to get people to pay for 6. I paid for 1 earlier.
Oh, well. Still.
Yep.
I'd just like to have as many as I'd like anyway, you know?
Yeah.
Just let's have extras.
I
Alrighty.
mean, it with this, it's fair enough after all Tristy's been through, and all of the unintentional neglect his mom put him through. Surely it's time for her to do the mom thing of making up soup and giving him ginger ale.
To await and see. As I suppose we sidle on over to Trist. Poor Trist.
Sounds about
day,
right.
day 3 and you're starting to cramp up. It's not a good time.
Okay, let's get to this Golder's Tower, please.
Yeah. Let's see here. You will have already been able to arrive in the Dragonhold by that point, and they will be glad to hear that things went well. They'll note that both you and Cass look pale as sheets.
We ate something real
Going
bad. We're gonna go camp out in the woods, make sure no one else gets sick. Goodbye. Oh God. Just gonna stagger off after like 5 minutes of
give me a deception test.
Okay. Well,
I feel you
spend
like
my
have
inspiration.
advantage with this since like
Yeah,
you're
actually,
actually
Yeah,
Cass
no,
just
yeah.
assist.
Cass will give you advantage as well
Okay.
because again, she's also sick. Ah, I'll be damned. Yeah, all right, sure. All right. I guess we wouldn't want the trots to run rampant.
Yeah, this sucks.
Sure,
be
it's not
back
just
in-
because a Golder's Tower is more pleasant than your own training room.
For once, no. I will
Mm,
be back when this has run its course.
okay. And no upcharge.
Perfect.
I am going to
Also, I'm
quickly
gonna buy a
grab.
scroll fly.
Cool. All right, I'm going to grab a fresh drink.
cool.
Good job, Trist. You didn't completely beans it.
Yeah, good job. It helps that you're actually sick.
Yeah, and also Cass is sick. It's gonna suck.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
It's okay. This is
Yeah,
the price
well.
of Cass's hubris. Chat, the month-long hangover is about to begin. It's okay
There,
though.
scroll
Luckily,
fly in case we need it.
that is a good idea. Yes.
I think it's gonna be worse than a
As,
hangover for you.
Oh
as
yeah.
someone
Yeah.
as someone who had chronic hangovers for a while, um, maybe try to magically summon up something that makes a lot of white noise that you can concentrate on, like a shower or a fan.
See, and that's not a bad idea. However, what I also have is a giant case of laudanum.
I'm still saying, like, even when
Yes.
you're doing the hair of the dog to try to fix yourself, uh, like something constantly humming in the background or making noises. If you concentrate on that, it makes you feel less sick. I do not miss those days.
I bet not.
And back. I grabbed a drink and also a slice of cheesecake.
And also, what? You cut out.
A
Slice of
slice of
cheesecake.
cheesecake.
Oh, slice of
Oh.
cheesecake.
For a little bit of it. Mm,
So, what's the name straight? At least
white chocolate and raspberry.
quite a lot of people here know has the knowledge of being a functional alcoholic.
Actually, I think a lot of people in this don't know that. Amxal doesn't drink, Kina doesn't drink, Winter doesn't drink, Savin doesn't drink.
Yeah, pretty much just me.
So, okay, has been in the corner of functional alcoholic. So it's actually a little fewer than I expected. I know Savin doesn't drink.
Yeah,
Most
well,
of this group is teetotalers.
that's why I was describing it to Savin what he should do for Tristan to make the hangover feel less bad.
No, yeah, it's not so much a hangover, it's actual drug withdrawal.
I've gone through hardcore caffeine withdrawal, and I stopped drinking much. I still now drink coffee and consume alcohol on a rarity, but also I'm no longer entirely fueled by them in a complete rack. Woo!
Woo.
Yay.
Indeed.
Good for you.
You don't start your day with the fifth of vodka.
It was a few shots of whiskey to start my day, but yeah, same deal. Anyway, Trist, at some point during your times of recovery in the Golders Tower, a glorious shadow washes over the lights of outward facing Arislets.
Oh, thank
The
God.
lighting in here is mostly supernatural. But at some point, darkness rolls over the building from the outside, and Cass snaps upright. Hold the fucking phone. Well, not the phone even. Hold the fuck on here. And she'll gently lay you out in the blankets and walk upstairs. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. Opens a little hatch onto the roof and screeches.
Oh shit. Go running. Ah. In fact,
You
I will.
stagger drunkenly with the poisoned state and up the stairs. Probably in nothing more than some scratchy blankets.
Oh, I get. Go faster.
Yep. And when you arrive at the top, you can see why she is surprised. Perching, and I say perching, on the top of this Golders Tower is a dragon.
Trish will also scream.
It appears to be a let's see here, an icy white dragon with bright blue eyes, and it will look down at you. And then you hear your mother's voice. Don't panic, please. It's me.
Oh, thank God.
Tristan just put up a hand. Go to the side of the tower. Oh!
Yep. Oh dear. Yes. Apologies for the surprise, but currently I'm still paralyzed, so I've true polymorphed into someone who isn't.
What? Sorry.
I'm recovering, but I had a chunk of my spine taken out, you know.
I
Don't heal from that very quickly.
That makes sense.
So, in order to get down here and check on my little boy and his girlfriend, she will nod sagely, I decided to pick a more expeditious form.
Well, I am very happy to see you. Appearances
No.
notwithstanding.
Of course, I apologize for the heart attack. I did send you a sending, but I don't think you even got it.
Must not have.
No, I think you were asleep. Which is fair, to be honest. I say,
Yeah.
very cute tower, but how would you feel about a mansion?
I don't know. I've never been in a mansion before.
Well then, if you'll walk yourselves downstairs.
For the love of God, Tristan, just
Just fall
lay on.
off the side and slowly
Just-
Is
coast
that
down.
the best idea right now with you being so
Just-
sick?
Just flop on Cassie's back and squeeze your eyes shut.
That's fine. Just gently elevator myself down.
Yeah, luckily it's duration, not concentration. So you just cast it and plump. You land down on soft grass, unfortunately, right by your own vomit.
It's okay. I rotated like 30 degrees up the tower to avoid like falling into it, but yeah.
Your mother, Eldraconess, will prestidigitate that away for you as Cassie follows. Presumably you also targeted her.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
She's
she'll
also
drift
recovering
down.
still at this point.
Yep. Her leggies don't do a walk super great. It's not been a week yet. And so going up and down her big stairs is a bit of a pain.
Yeah, Tristan will just kind of blink a few times as he settles into the grass and say, "So big news on our part too."
Yes.
Somebody's not a vampire anymore.
I can't help but notice. I thought you had just been going cold turkey, but your girlfriend doesn't have her veil on.
Yep. Nothing to not be cold turkeying on.
I see. And her toe claws will start to, like, grippy a few times at the floor. Explain?
So when we defeated that ghost dragon. Hold on one second. I'm just gonna take out one of those laudanum things. Gold. Blink a few times.
Really?
Okay, that's all better. When we defeated Bellatrix's maybe girlfriend or something dragon spirit, she said we did a good enough job that she wanted to give us a little something extra. And that something extra is this. Crystal withdraw from under his cloak a stake.
What, to death?
Of
Oh,
a
no,
sort,
obviously not. Sorry, yes,
suppose.
Cass is quite alive, isn't she?
You put that into a vampire's heart, and no more vampiro. Breaks the curse, divine-like.
Strange that she'd just offer this. Usually God doesn't do anything for free.
It wasn't for free, but luckily it's a price Cass and I didn't have to pay. She wanted
do
one of
tell.
us to become a divine champion. And, of all the people to volunteer, it was Tajana. I know, contain your surprise. The fat cat really went for it before I could even speak up.
Oh, I'll have to thank her,
Well,
because I'm sure you would have done so immediately.
pretty much, yeah.
And then after this quest was done, I'd lose my little boy to another war.
Well, luckily it did not come to that, which I am indeed thankful. Do you have pockets in dragon form? Saddlebag.
No, but I will dismiss this, so to speak.
I can just hold on to this for you for a while. This one's
Yeah,
for
no.
you. We have a couple others, but I don't know if
No,
you
it's-
want to rid yourself of vampirism now or ever,
Oh.
but
Gods, yes, absolutely. It's going to make me significantly weaker, but I'm already at the point where I can't defeat Velthermar, unfortunately. Regardless of being alive or dead. But I suppose that alive will come with its own benefits. Like being alive. That, and you're starting to catch up on my age. People are already going to assume that we're siblings.
well, hopefully the years don't catch up, or else I'm going to be a very sad boy.
Oh, what? Jumping I mean, Cass here should be old enough to be your mother, but she looks to be sprightly and young still, so fingers crossed, I guess. But if I do vanish for whatever reason, I love you very much.
Love you too, Mom.
Now please, come inside. Then when she lifts her big, icy draconic head, you can see that there is a doorway floating in nothing.
Neat. Oh, walk inside.
Yeah, as you walk in, you are treated to the sight of, like, that classic every butler and maid, like, bowing and curtsying at the entrance to the door as you walk in, albeit they're semi-translucent. Of all manner of shapes and sizes,
Chris is just gonna
sexes
keep his
and
mouth
genders
shut.
notwithstanding. Cass is gonna whistle. Oh, I like this. This is quite the spell. Yeah. And then your mother pokes her head into the door and goes, "Well, this part is going to suck." And then she casts a spell targeting herself and reduces herself to 0 hit points.
Eep.
There is a coruscant green light that seems to tear the very scales from her form until she's looking quite humanoid. And as you remember her, the translucent servants are there ready to catch her on non-verbal command.
Did she just disintegrate herself?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Oh, fuck's sake. Are you
There you
okay?
go.
Your mother's
Oh,
hilarious.
yes. I mean, I can't feel pain at all, and disintegrate itself is quite painless as long as it kills you immediately.
Oh, good. The paralysis thing, though?
Yes, still need to grow that piece of spine back, but I was too excited to leave and get going.
Here, let's get you to a chair, then.
Oh no, it's fine. Look, she gestures, and she's being held aloft by a palanquin now just made entirely of sexy men and women.
God damn it, Mom.
Oh, they travel in style.
Ow, my head. Okay, let me find somewhere to sit down, then.
Of course. Even as you say it, translucent, sexy figures will gesture you towards a plush and opulent love seat, wide enough even for Cass to climb her body into first, so that you can lean on her.
You sure they just don't make another pelican for you to sit on?
They offer to scoop him up, but they will otherwise gesture him towards the comfy, centaur-sized love seat that sits in the grand foyer beside a roaring fireplace.
Yeah, I
You can
think I
smell
will take
mulled
that.
wine.
Alright, this is a damn impressive spell, I have to admit.
I'm a big fan myself. And she'll wait to be lowered down into a comfortable chair. They even lift her arms and then place them so that she's got her fingers threaded in her lap, pleasantly, primly, and properly.
Oh, you are full-on paralyzed, huh?
Uh, yes, I'm full on missing a large piece of spine. I'm talking with mage hand, sweetie.
I mean, fair enough, then. Ugh. Well, hopefully your vampire powers will grow that back before too long.
Yes, say I don't need functioning organs to stay alive, and I only need to draw in air to talk. And did you know lungs work entirely based on pressure? I don't. You can breathe while you're paralyzed to a degree, as long as you've got the motion being impressed upon you. And she gestures. There is occasionally an invisible pressure on her chest that appears to be a hidden, an invisible mage hand, working her like a bellows. It'll regrow, and then I would love to be staked.
Well, alright then. So be it. So how's everyone back at the Grove or Grave?
Oh, they're well, glad to leave, of course. Unfortunately, the Dryad can't go yet. Because I'm still technically a prisoner there, even if I'm not a prisoner there. The anchor is just left waiting on a chair next to a very nicely written sign that says "fuck you" on it. A terrific piece of work it was, having it ripped out of me by a god, less fun.
So, still, when
Even she struggled, which is quite terrifying. That Lich is going to be no joke.
Yeah, yeah.
He wasn't that powerful for a while, and then suddenly he was, and the tide, well, turned for our little miniature insurrection.
What happened exactly? I never told the story.
Goodness, where to begin? I met your father when he fell and became a Dread Knight. And we would go out on missions of ill repute together. And then love happened. I won't describe the more sordid events that led up to such things, but it just sort of happened. And then when I got pregnant, despite expectations, I realized that this whole darkness thing was not going great. We had been dealt promises, but it seems that Velt himself was much too bent on his own personal revenge, and it starts to feel a lot like you're being used. And oaths were used against each other. Your father was not too happy about having to break his oath, but I managed to rip said Geas from both him and myself.
A
And
Geas?
so we ran. Well, yes, the oath is bound in blood and soul, and I'm no shit a very powerful Archmagister. She uses a. In fact, she doesn't even use a mage hand to gesture with her hand. One of her translucent, sexy servants will lift her hand and gesture at the entire mansion before resting back into her lap again. Gosh, regardless.
Yeah,
She
I
likes
mean,
she likes
fair.
geese.
Still, you're certainly not the only one that's been magically bound to their oaths. We, not to interrupt, but when we went to the uh, family business outside of King's Seat, we met a Knight of the Dark whose handout I can't find in the sidebar. Where are you, lady?
She's the mute one in the
Yeah, she is the
where's she at?
half-soul noble.
There it is, yeah, Half-Soul Noble and the Gorgon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just actually blind.
Yeah, they're top of monsters and NPCs because the most recent monsters and NPCs you met.
Oh, they're in Monsters and NPC. Right, of course. I was looking at important characters. How silly.
Yep.
Tristan's gonna take the tablet that Half Soul gave him and pass it to, I guess, one of the servants for Mom.
Hmm. Well, I'll be. Yes, this was a old token of captaincy. It was one of the ones that signified that she would have worked for your father.
Mhm. Is that right? Or is that all?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they were used for tracking back in the time, but your father's gone and that tracking spell is quite gone. I was about to scold you for literally just, you know, accepting a tracking spell onto your person, wandering around with it, but it's quite dormant.
Oh, that's good. Still odd that this half-soul noble would have been carrying this around just for me all these years.
Hmm.
Tristan will
Well, I
go
mean,
through the
she's.
effort to like describe the woman, see if that rings any of Morgan's bells.
Yes, she was a pleasant enough girl for the member of said armies of darkness. We were all stricken by malnourished ennui and righteous vindication and indignation, etc., etc., she must have taken his old position and come into all of his old belongings. I can't say for sure why she had your father's token still on her, maybe sentimental value. He was very charming.
Just gonna 1 second here. That's fine. Trish will just nod absently. I see. Don't expect sentimental types amongst that group these days, but sorry, carry on.
Well, it's supposed to be that the ones who inherit his old role would have been his child, aka the one I was carrying. So I guess that she was still, by some measure, bound to pass on your rite of initiation should you turn. I don't know if it's a declaration of war or just simply making sure that there are no loose ends.
I guess we'll see. But, yes, back to the story. Saying you had
Right.
broken the geas?
Yes. It's an effort to break such spells, and it made things quite apparent the moment I did so. The beholder is aware when things are ended. And so Vilthamar came for us both. I'd only had time to break your father and I's, so we were the only ones to stand against him at the time. That was not a battle we were going to win, especially since he could quite freely call upon all of the forces at his disposal. And some of them are, well, not my measure, obviously, I'm incredible, but at least your father's measure in combat, and that still makes for quite a threat.
So how'd you get away?
I put all of my effort into running away. I used magic, dear. She leans back. It just doesn't work forever. I can only produce so much power in one place. We hopped a short distance before your father was struck down, and I continued running and suppressed a great deal of my own power with which to hide. Fortunately, I couldn't stay hidden forever. You can see that her eyes have gotten a little bit cold and glacial at this retelling. Probably something she's had to stuff into a box many, 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 many times.
Trish will just lean over and take her hand.
It is scalding hot still, as usual.
It's fine.
Even if
Our
her
resistance.
expression is quite icy.
It's alright. There's nothing you could have done.
I'm aware now, and yes, thankfully I've already cried all of my tears. There are plenty of years to do that, for sure.
So, you escaped Velt and went to Duskvale, and then how do you reckon he found you?
I have a couple of theories. But the reality is, she gestures at herself, even with all of my powers hidden, I look distinct.
That's true enough.
Having some kind of spell of disguise on me would have, you know, beaten the point. I'd have had magic running around. I'd have glown to sight. I'd been trackable in such a case. So I had nothing to do but to hide my features with, makeup and cloth. But I still look like me, and I suppose I'd just been spotted at some point by someone, something. I certainly don't know who will have given me away, but someone knew me for who I was and ratted me out. I still don't know who. If I do find out who, I will. Oh, such a vengeance.
Did anyone else survive? As far as I know, the only person from the village to survive was you, me, and
Us.
one other girl.
Of course, yes. Little Belle. Maybe there were survivors, but we ran. If I'd stuck around to find out, maybe. But after depositing you safely, and little friend in tow, I made sure to get right out of there, for it had been made quite apparent that I am not someone who was safe to be around. And then made my preparations to enact righteous, furious vengeance on him and concoct a potion of viscid dragon's blood with which to do combat in an attempt to break whatever lasting compulsions a vampire lord happens to have over his ex-lieutenants. Didn't work out, unfortunately, and has thus proven that he is capable of harrowing me in the midst of a fight.
You know how he did it? I mean, you are an incredible wizard and a vampire on top of it. What gave out the edge?
He has some sample of my blood or something else that has a sympathetic bond with which he can cast quite powerful magic on me, unfortunately.
Hmm.
And I've been oathed to him once before, and we've lain together as well, so it's quite a powerful sympathetic bond. There are very few people who know me quite as well as he, and so I'm quite helpless in the face of compulsions.
No, you'd think that would be a two-way street.
Oh, yes. Uh, but he has all that dragon's blood to thank for that. That's why I thought that concoction would spare me, but I am incapable of such assimilations. I tried, but... Well, though it has obviously changed me, it did not do so to a vivid enough degree.
And here I thought the whole benefit of being an Inspiris is we're easy to change.
Oh yes, we're incredibly mutable, but that's the problem. I'm still the same slice of Fey no matter what I change into.
I guess that makes sense. Still though, it reminds me, where did Belt get that dragon part of himself?
We went into a mountain and slew a great big black dragon. It had been terrorizing a village. I mean, a village, actually. It used to be a town, a very nice one, before it became, a wasteland. And so we went out to slay it. Back then, had no idea that vampire had been so, I suppose, thirsty for dragon.
Did Belt change after that, do you reckon? I mean, not just getting dragon powers, but personality-wise.
Oh, absolutely, in the same ways that an arm of darkness corrupts.
Uh,
Very, very similar transfiguration.
I see.
That's why after, again, drinking that dragon juice that I had put together, quite lost my sanity. I've had a long time to, obviously, regather my scattered wits, but similarly at the time I would not have been on top form when I faced him, even if I were sure, full of fire and victory, that I could have taken him.
That does remind me, though. Have you had the chance to see Creed yet?
Have lip will scratch up for a moment. No, no, I haven't.
Hmm. Well, is she and her partner, wife, or they're
Hmm.
wandering around down near that little torchlight village, actually near the old supernal courtroom, around in
Huh.
there, messing with Velt's followers.
God, I haven't been there since a pilgrim.
Yeah, so funny thing, speaking of shit the king's done. So, Creed was dead, right?
Yeah. She fell from horseback and broke her neck.
Right.
And I know that sounds like every assassination plot ever, but the reason that that is a very popular plot is because that is an unfortunate way for a lot of nobles to fall. I checked. God spare me, I checked to see if there'd been some foul play, but no, my baby had just been unlucky.
Well, she didn't stay that way. The king, he worked on some kind of ritual on Creed, and long after she had died and was buried, went out to her grave and infused her like some sort of Hagenite deva, brought her back.
Her spine isn't put together enough for her face to, like, properly evoke the way in which it wants to scrunch up. My baby's alive.
She is really alive, yeah. Somehow the king brought her back, turned her into a celestial. He raised her like a weapon, something he was going to unleash on Velt, but then she got away, and then Rong and Miniad blew up next to her, filled her body full of divine Armalite shrapnel, whatever an Armalite even is, and changed her even more.
Bastard.
Yeah.
When did he do this?
Uh, well, must have been a few years before Rong and Miniad broke, enough for her to finish growing up into an adult. After that, after Rongo broke, she's stopped aging. So you can,
Takes a long breath and tries to form it into words, but just comes out as one long exhale.
which does
I
mean that, yeah,
see.
she was alive while you were still free and wandering around. Of course, the king wouldn't have told you that.
No, he wouldn't have, would he? Especially since I was a vampire.
Mm.
Gods, if he put a Hagen Dave her and she must have found me unbearable.
Well, it
If she'd
seems like
met
she
me, she would
didn't
have
know
been
you were
compelled to
around.
destroy me. Oh, well, some small mercies. I'd never
Then,
want to see my own baby's face full of righteous hatred.
well, you'll be able to see her soon enough, I reckon, but that's not all that happened to her. After Rongaminiad exploded, she bailed on the kingdom, everything, went into hiding. Met a half gold dragon, just calls herself Queenie. And they had a kid.
That would be Tammy then.
That would be Tammy,
I see.
who, just like Creed, was taken in by the king under the guise of some kind of prophecy or another that Creed and Queenie were terrified of. And he raised her like a weapon to go kill Velt. And then she bailed on him. That's how we got sucked into all this, me and my friends, going to track her down and bring her back. frankly,
How
between...
offended would you be if I went and killed the king?
Well, I mean, A, do you think you could?
Yes.
That'll give Tristan pause for a moment. Well, personally not very, but let's put a pin in that for a moment. We don't know what the fuck's actually going on. Like, something's very, very wrong between what happened to Creed, the king becoming a secret dragon hermit, and everything Velt's done. My friends and I have been trying to piece it together, but we're missing something to make sense of it all.
Mm. Let's see. I've had time to muddle on some things, but obviously I knew nothing of my daughter or Tammy's apparent granddaughterness.
Have any idea why the king would do all this? It seems a lot. It seems like way too much effort to just kill Velt. Do you think an ancient gold could just go and bite Velt's head off?
Hmm. I'm going to have to ask him, I think. I'm sure there is an answer, and I believe that the answer is with the king, not with everything else.
Yeah, probably. That's kind of...
Belformar's goals are simple. He wants the king dead and full control of everything, a lovely little island blood bank, and where he can sit in abject misery and then try and conquer the rest of the continents. Very typical megalomaniac business.
Don't forget Agriello.
It's true, he's never given up on her, and I'm sure that she is a link between him and the king. They're both absolutely stricken with her.
So there's something else about that. You remember my friend Ariel? It's a remarkable resemblance to Agriel.
Oh yes, hard to forget. She's very beautiful.
Yeah. So she's a warlock of Rongaminiad, right? The same
Hmm.
entity that got inside Creed and was present inside her when Tammy was born, and now Tammy can summon the essence of Rongo as a divine spear, get herself possessed by him practically. No, not even practically, literally. He can talk through her. Like she's a conduit.
I wonder if Rongaminiad's what he used in the first place to perform these resurrections, borrowing what would have been the almost godlike power of a patron, and set a whole bunch of stupidity into motion.
Could be.
Also, I can't see the bottom of that bucket if that's the case.
See, Bob and I were talking, and we're kind of wondering if Rongo's responsible for all this. Some sort of get himself a human vessel plot.
No, Rongaminiad's goal is to protect humanity.
What better way to do that than among us as, say, an eternal queen?
An interesting thought, perhaps. I don't know.
I don't either, but it's a little too convenient that Velthamar's obsessed with Rongo's only notable warlock. Well, his vessel, Tammy, is running around as a queen-to-be if something were to happen to the king.
It's a possibility. I don't know, it just doesn't seem very much in Rongaminiad's wheelhouse. The idea of a patron is that they aren't exactly two-faced, you know?
I don't know. It's just, we can't make any sense of this. You're right. Ultimately, we'd have to ask the king. But I don't see much of a way of that going well for us. Unless he has a real soft spot for you he's been hiding all these years.
He'll speak to me. None of this us business, though. I want you to continue what it is you're doing.
Oh, no, 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 no. I'm not letting you go and speak to the king without me. I remember what happened with Veld. I'm not letting you get thrown into a dungeon.
Honey, you've already done oh so much, but trust me when I say this. The king is a weakling now.
What do you mean? And I trust you, but I'd like to know more, because that's also been something we've been thinking about.
What do you think it costs to perform a resurrection? He has done it multiple times. You're not supposed to do that.
Crystal just sort of blink for a moment. We saw a cleric, a friend of ours, after she revived one of her friends who died, stripped all of her divine powers from her, left her like a hollow husk. You think that would happen to the king too? That he's just a husk of a dragon?
If doing so when he tried to stuff a bunch of himself into Agriella, burned her up from the inside, what do you think a second attempt did for bringing back my baby? Bet I could absolutely kick his ass up and down the courtroom.
Maybe. I mean, it's not like I don't think Tammy would do a hell of a lot better job than he is. But
I mean, more so the case, I won't try to kill him, obviously. I want to. Gods know I want to, but honestly, that kind of havoc would play into Velthramar's hands.
exactly. I mean, look, I can't stop you once you have a spine again. But I would like to come with you. I'd want to know what the hell's going on too. My friends and I have been deep into this mess since it started, or at least since Tammy's part in it started. And this is the future of the realm we're talking about here. Whatever's been going on in the background, it's nearly come to a head, and it's gonna be epic whatever happens.
He sighs, and after a long moment, one of her translucent guides will pick up her hand in order to allow her fingers to like tap 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 on the arm of the chair in consternation. You're right, it would be, I suppose, selfish to go and see to this myself. Fine, I will hold back. And if I must go see the king, I will figure out some kind of window in for you all.
I mean, how do you plan to go talk to him?
Well, once I'm human, I can just go right in through the front fucking door. I know
Huh?
where the staircases all are.
I mean, we do have a back door into the king's personal quarters. Just gets a mischievous grin, says, "So Tammy's got a bag of holding, right? Except it's not a pocket dimension, it's a portal into the king's coffers."
You want to walk us into the treasury?
Uh-huh.
That could work.
A lot less likely to result in a whole shitload of knights coming down on us like a hammer.
Hmm.
And
Very
if we've
well.
got Tammy with us, then I think he could be peaceable enough.
Okay. Let's see to these arms first then and get Tammy good and ready. We'll get our answers before Veld is faced. This might be a good idea.
Sure. Some of these arms, though, there's something wrong with them.
Yes. Well, they're not incorruptible themselves. They're
No, they're
magic
not,
items,
but
and they spend all of their time being, I don't know, mired in misery and plunged into monsters. What did you think would happen?
some of them weren't even light to begin with. Like the heart. It was a demon's heart that had been rent out of her chest, leaving her in horrible agony, tortured for a century in a basement
Yes, I
somewhere.
remember the tale. It's true that a lot of them are that way. I suppose the real only distinction for an arm of light is that it just isn't made with monster parts.
Yeah,
So there's no natively corruptive influence. I mean, I've said for generations ad nauseam that there's nothing technically corruptive about a demon. It's more an upbringing case.
sure. Still, though, I don't know. Maybe
An
I'm
arm
just
of
getting
light is just
paranoid.
an arm of light because it was constructed by means not of the naturally corruptive beasts of darkness, from whence wherever they were spawned and propagated.
Sure. Maybe I'm just getting paranoid with all this conspiracy floating around, but I don't know. I don't know if I trust them with Tammy. You know what I mean?
Understandable, but, well,
Like,
especially if she's one of ours, then she's more than up to the task. Especially if there's a whole bunch of Deva nonsense going on in the meantime. She's
Deva
an
and
Azamar after
Rongaminiad.
all, yeah. An Azamar, Rongaminiad. There's some dragon in her.
Still,
I suspect that she would be fine, but we can also check once we've collected all the pieces, just to make sure she doesn't go attuning to them willy-nilly.
yeah, it's just whatever's wrong with the king. Tammy or Reed before her, getting all the arms of light was always his objective. And aside from one or two of them, they don't really seem like they'd be that critical to fighting Velt, so feels like there's some alternative motivation.
The arms themselves, after killing Velt, could be used to restore his power. There's nothing corruptive about a single one of them. Maybe altogether there's enough juice in there to, I don't know, kickstart a dragon's withered soul.
So that's it. He thinks he can restore himself. I don't know if that would be good for Tammy.
Probably not. Probably not fatal at the same time. He's still bound in the same way that a gold dragon is meant to be bound. I
Oh?
don't think he's allowed. Yes, god dragons can't sacrifice the innocent. They can do a lot of things, but they can't sacrifice the innocent, and they believe can't surrender to evil. Those are the two things.
Alright, he can just let people who've done no wrong but fail him suffer for eternity.
True, but they aren't sacrificed. Obviously, it's to the letter of the line, but that does mean that Tammy is safe from death. Again, it could still be terrible for her.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
There is a lot we don't know, unfortunately. But yes, this little treasury idea might be worth it. And we'll get the pieces together, just we'll make sure little Tammy doesn't, attune to all of them.
Yeah, we spread them out through the party. That'll keep the king from doing anything untoward, I hope.
Mm. I'm still sneaking bites of this delicious cheesecake. It's so good. It's just full of raspberries.
Delish.
A lovely little white chocolate casing on top of the cheesecake filler.
Yeah, hopefully, if you've got some time to recover here. Well, I doubt Creed and Tammy could get over here anytime soon. They're off on their own things, but I can at least get you in touch. I'm sure Creed at least would love to hear from you.
I'd love to hear from her. My first daughter. Not to say I don't love all of my children equally, but she was also the first time I ever experienced the loss of a family. And I hate to say you get used to it, but you do.
Well, this time at least, we can undo.
Hmm. Thank you for letting me know. And I'm glad that you're better or getting better, Cass too. And thank you as well for a cure. I'll have to thank your kitty as well. What's her favorite position?
Uh,
Oh.
I believe she is monogamous with an elf man.
Oh, that's adorable. A shame, but adorable. A lot of cushion for pushing.
Just slowly turning into a tomato.
Cassie is trying really hard not to laugh.
Tristan wouldn't know that, but if she offered, Tajana would accept.
God damn it.
I mean, yeah, who wouldn't say no, say yes to like Vorgon and Spirus? Apart from, obviously people who just aren't into women.
Heck, if she could get her in a threesome with her boy,
Yeah, she'd
I don't
probably
think she
be
could
down.
swing that.
Yeah, I mean, she'd be into it, but more
Morgan
the case,
would be into it, but I don't know about.
Yeah,
I don't know about Garrick.
maybe. She could polymorph, so she's also a plush fairy.
She could polymorph, so she's also a Garrick.
That'd be weird to watch himself fucking Tajana.
She could polymorph into another Tajana.
Yeah. Just give him double Taj. She know what that mouth do.
Trish is just gonna
Yeah.
quickly change the subject. So the family business is doing exceptionally well for itself, it seems, despite the knights having had a great gathering right on top of it. It seems no one was any of the wiser.
Well, that's a relief. I'd worried since apparently Gareth is one of the poor souls trapped waiting, infuriated.
Yeah. Well,
What?
I let his wife know, and well, more or less left the specifics out, but told her he'd be back within the year.
Hmm.
Certainly was an experience seeing all that hidden away under the earth, with Velthamar's servants and the king's intermingling. Very
Oh yes,
strange.
it's neutral ground, thankfully.
Yeah, that's where I met that half-soul girl. Well,
That
not for the
makes a lot
first
of
time now that
sense.
I think about it.
Hmm. Well, she was fond of the Fae. That doesn't surprise me.
Trish starts to laugh and cuts his eyes over Morgan squint.
What? She was very enamored with your father. I was just a delicious little bonus, which, I don't mind in a lot of cases.
Trish will finish turning into a complete tomato. Well, that explains things, all right.
Transformation is complete. Now you never know who's a psycho.
Yeah, that explains why she was keeping this around all these years. And
Makes
probably
sense.
also why she ran away from me at full speed the first time we met.
Also possible. You do look a reasonable amount like him, you know.
Yeah.
Big and handsome.
Oh, well, thank you.
Your hair is never as neat.
Tristan's thinking internally, that is an awkward comment coming from your mom who looks like your sister now. Ah.
On the plus side, Morgan is so sexually open that she doesn't even recognize that that might be a weird statement to make.
Yep. That's
Do not reach level 6 mommy issue.
No, the cusp. The cusp. Oh, goodness.
Look, this is out of my hands now. That's on Morgan.
Yes, I've got a wonderful list of people to go off and visit. Up to and notwithstanding as well, your girlfriend, Kasura.
You should go visit the harpies first.
That's
Ah,
the right
yes.
voice in my head. I owe so many warm feather hugs.
Yes.
More blowjobs.
Is Morgan a human under all? Yeah, she is. She was purebred human.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I was talking to them in Sir
Well,
Kareen
fate-hatched.
recently about trying to fix up the town they're all living under.
Oh, that would be nice. Technically, I owned that land, but I never really used it for much apart from, hiding my little lab in.
Yeah, I figured that's the case, and I've got the money more or less set aside. Just need to get to Hollisher and I guess find laborers and resources to get it underway. It'd be
I
nice
wish
to
I
have
had any money left. You'd think a very powerful arc wizard would have an incredible nest egg to go with it, but I'm flat broke. Don't worry, Mummy can get more money, no problem at all.
Let's transmute some lead to gold, right?
Sort of. That's kind of the reason why Electrum is the mint. You can't do the transmutation to Electrum cleanly.
That makes sense.
Yes. A lot of the, again, unless minted solid golds that you'll see out there were potentially transmuted by a Fae, and then you can't actually be sure that it won't, the moment you try and spend it, turn into a pile of rocks. One of their favorite little tricks. Looks like gold, feels like gold, smells like gold. The moment it is used as fungible currency, it turns to dust.
Some sort of non-fungible coinage, I see.
That's right. It is in fact entirely worthless. It only has worth as it is observed.
We're really going here now.
Yes. Yeah, the Fae's created gold NFTs.
Speaking of
fucking
things
damn
that do have value of practice, Chris is going to reach into his backpack and withdraw one of these 100 GP bottles of wine.
Oh no, you are a treasure. Unfortunately, I don't quite have the peristaltic motions down for swallowing, but I will enjoy that probably tomorrow once most of my spine's in order again.
Yes, that does make sense. All right, we will save this for the morning then.
Yeah, otherwise if she tried to drink it, it would just do that, like, it would just slide down her throat and she wouldn't get to enjoy it, really.
Well, will you be staying around for a few days?
Of course, sweetie. I'll probably hang around until you've gotten all of that, well, vampirism out of your blood.
Chris will just grin and say, well, once you get your spine back, you can make me some hot soup and tuck me in, because boy, this sucks already.
Oh, honey. I can do that right now. And then the palanquin of sexy people are going to lift her up and walk her to the kitchen.
What an odd scene.
Like Tristram is the fucking best. She
She
has all
balls
of this
out of
power,
control.
but she is just a sexy idiot.
Trish just kind of turns to Cass as she leaves and says, "Well, I am but a product of my genes."
I'd hate your mother if I weren't just so fucking impressed all the time.
I know.
Just gonna bury face in Haas flank and laugh.
To give you pats for the next case of shivering. One rolls over you once the laudanum runs its course.
Finally, long duration residence in the mom zone.
Yep. That XP bar is getting a lot of points put into it now.
Yay!
Leveling up in mummy issues.
Oh no! Am
Yeah,
I back to level
that's where
4
that
now?
analogy was going. When you said yay, I was like, the analogy did not land.
Okay, well, let me
Yeah, you
just
want
put
that
myself
XP
back
bar
up
to
to
go
level 4 mommy
down.
issues here. Oh, alright. Creeping
Which,
ever
I mean,
closer.
admittedly, it should go down now that you can just actually spend time with your mom being a mom.
It is true. Although it is as well seeing a mom just floating around being a horny danger idiot.
Yeah, it's spending time with mom, but also it's in a palace full of 100 fucking translucent sex fiends, and she's on a flesh palanquin.
Yes. She has it real good, I'm just saying.
Cass, I need
mean,
you to
did you-
learn the spell.
Did you expect anything less from her? Let's be honest.
Cass just slowly shakes her head. I don't know how much power it takes to cast this, but it is so beyond me.
Don't worry, sweetie, you'll be an Archmage one day.
Look, I mean, look at them, they're vivid. And she gestures at a servant who will then lean over. Is there anything I can get for you? Oh, a cup of tea, please. Very good. And then we smile and we'll head off. I can't do that.
Oh, fuck. Well, at least we have the most powerful wizard, or at least certainly top 3 in the continent on our side now.
Absolutely.
Just need to
Yeah,
figure out what
Magnificent
this...
Mansion is level 7. It's
It is in fact magnificent.
yeah.
It's beyond pretty much anybody to get.
Now we just need to get rid of this lich, and then Mom will be truly the most powerful wizard.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Actually, yeah, I guess I'll just ask her real quick before we move on what that lich's deal is. Like, who is he? What'd he do?
He's one of the classic liches. They were already a very powerful wizard full of dark secrets from the deserts, laden with madness and willing to sacrifice whole cities and villages in order to collect enough of the last shouts of a fallen innocent person's soul with which to put together the constructs for lichdom. He is unequivocally a powerful evil bastard. And that's his whole deal, unfortunately. We did not get along. Go figure, Vampire and Lich don't usually get along in the first fucking place.
Seems to get on with Velk well enough.
That's because Velt gets him what he wants.
And what does he want now that he's a lich? Just more people
The
to
cessation
torment?
of life,
Oh, I see.
conflict, opportunities to use his magic. I believe a whole large part about Lichdom is also struggling to fight off the boredom of existence. Because, it robs you of all of life's joys almost immediately.
Why would anyone want to be a lich when you could just be a vampire?
Because they're crazy, and obviously the Lich is considerably more powerful than the vampire.
Hmm.
Unending power and incredible confidence fall hand in hand there.
I suppose.
That's why I'm always incredibly confident. But this Lich was obviously confident that he would find meaning in life once he became powerful enough to undo it. He was wrong, like so many others who undergo such a metamorphosis.
Hmm. Well, seems like this Lich is responsible for a good chunk of Velt's power. Certainly,
Probably.
just need to figure out a way to get into that ebony spire and get rid of him.
I'll look into a few things. Perhaps I can find you a way to get in unmolested through, thousands and thousands and thousands of mindless undead.
Yeah. Yeah, that would help. Maybe Morgan might want to pitch into. She hates the fucking things.
Possible. She came by to see me, but I'm quite unwilling to enter her eternal service as one of her messengers or Valkyrie. Don't get me wrong, I love the gothic aesthetic and I look very sexy as an angel of death, but
Yeah, I don't blame you. Still, it was an opportunity I couldn't exactly just pass up on your behalf.
of course, I appreciate the thought. I much more appreciate the, despining, as unpleasant as it was.
Yeah, well. I got there in the
Mhm.
end. That's what matters.
But so, my lovely dears, their conversations in the mom zone will continue unabated over the course of the next month or so. At some point during the week, probably 5 days in, 6 days in, Trist, your mother's spine is restored enough to walk around, at which point you discover she's still like riding the flesh palanquin anyway, because it's awesome.
God damn it, Mom! Stop!
Sorry, I can't hear you having too much fun, sweetie.
It's fine. You know what? You're right. I'm gonna climb on Cass's back. Yeah. Have a flesh
How? Hey,
palanquin too.
you still sore for another couple days, yeah? She
Yeah.
will pinch your bum.
Uh,
Let's see here. And then, yeah, she too will go through the stakening. It sucks just as much for Cass. Luckily, she's more prepared for it and is already ready to be sequestered to an opulent, soundproof bathroom afterwards.
I bet having been feeding off demon blood all this time is extra spicy too.
Oh God, probably. But at some point, out will walk Morgan and Spirus as she is a fey-touched humanoid who I suppose now is in need of a new token border. I'll get around to that in the future.
Yeah, and plus she doesn't have the horrible crown bolted to her head anymore, I imagine.
That is also true.
Yay.
So I'll have to get some art and nice token together for that. She also casts Modify Memory to make sure you don't remember her running off to the bathroom.
Bitch, I saw. Okay, what's the save on that? Wisdom? It's matter intelligence.
I don't know.
Wisdom saving throw. Alright, hold on. Just. Yeah, no.
Alright, yeah, you don't remember your mother running off to the bathroom.
Okay. Trist will just kind of blink as Morgan just like shifts 2 or 3 centimeters from where she had been standing before that episode. Cocked his head to the side. Do you need to go off and?
No, I'm perfectly fine.
Oh, that's good. Tristan will just like step up and give Morgan a big hug.
Yeah, you get the biggest of a hug. No.
Yay.
Or at least to a degree. Her arms are like too feeble to give you a proper hug. She should be like strength 16. She can't hug good though.
That's fine. I hug enough for both of us.
Alright, she was tough enough to not say ow.
Alright, good. Now all of us can suffer together for a day or two.
Ah, that's what you think. I'm going to True Polymorph for the next week.
So, true polymorph me. I got a month of this to go through.
Fine, let's suffer together. I can't have you, you know, a month, like partway into the month, losing your True Polymorph and then being rendered immobile in the midst of combat by crippling withdrawal, unattended to for weeks.
Oh, please. I've basically never been knocked out in combat.
I feel like the moment you're transformed into something incandescent or just strange in any way, that's when you will be tempting fate enough to be struck down.
Nah.
It's fine. I intend to make sure that you're well taken care of, and I will behave and not polymorph myself. That, and I'd hate for the polymorph to end, and I'd still be crippled and atrophied.
Yeah, best we just do it naturally. But, hey, because we'll take out that wine bottle. Now we can all enjoy this together.
Yes, let's get shit-faced.
Absolutely.
All right, and whilst thou art getting thine drink on, the parties are once more able to coalesce and regather at the Dragonhold, ready to head out. Oh, I'm so sorry, Bob Feyhold. I know you helped Taji with her grandiose retelling. What skills do you
yes,
train in the
that
interim?
was a. I would like to have a slight talk with the Queen, remember?
Sure.
If it's possible.
Of course, it's always possible for our knights. The Queen in all of her incandescent glory will give you a warm
Yes.
smile.
And now I cannot avert my eyes, no matter which fucking way I look. Because I always see.
This is true. But still, she's got an innocent, beatific smile on her face. How can I help you, Bob?
I have a lot of questions that I don't have an answer to, and racking my brain, I seem to be nowhere near the level of understanding for it.
Go right
But
ahead then. I can
I know you.
certainly try and help you out. I'm not exactly
Yeah.
omnipotent or omniscient. But I've seen a lot
Well,
of
that's
stories.
questionable. Out of everyone that's all around here, next to the gods, you're literally the most knowledgeable one.
Sort of. I could be the most knowledgeable one, dear Bob, but if I chose to know everything, then I would have no fun learning, would I? No story would be a surprise
That's
to me in the retelling. There'd be no such joy in those things. Choosing to know everything is choosing to be miserable.
brilliant and sad versus stupid and happy. The
Stupid is
age-old
a little
question: which
bit
one is better?
unfair there, my dear, but I am of the genuine belief that robbing yourself of life's favors is no way to go about it.
Yeah,
Being a god must be terribly
yeah,
dull.
my word. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they can find ways to entertain themselves that we can comprehend. I had a
Indeed,
nice
and
little
not knowing
meeting with
that is
them.
interesting. A meeting with them.
Yes, the majority of the Pantheon. And some that I did not know existed. Something called a Dark Pantheon.
Ah, yes, the counterparts. They've been in absentia for quite a while. Unworshipped, so their power was quite middling. Whispered only amongst cultists in the darkest little places. I've collected some measure of their stories. Pray tell, what would you like to know about them?
Yes. Oh, it wasn't about them. It wasn't about them. It's there's so many questions. But I think the real question is, I need an answer to is, how do I make the single most powerful undead destroyer?
Oh, that's all you need to know.
Yeah, a one-shot item or whatever.
Nonsense, Bob. You already have the greatest weapon against death and darkness. Don't make me say it, I will.
If it's friendship, that's
It's friendship,
I've
yes.
been around too many emblas and I've been around dragons. I can't just. I've literally seen dragons with their emotional support bimbos. It's like
It's very important.
just size. Yes,
But no, I
it is
get what you mean.
important for the method.
If you're looking for the greatest weapon against the darkness, you're already building your way towards it, aren't you? I don't
No, but I'm
know
not
of
looking
some
for
kind
it.
of undead immediately power reslaying gun, unfortunately. It's a lot easier to take a life than it is to take an unlife.
You know, that is actually such a paradox, isn't it?
Oh, of
It's
course.
easier to kill someone than re-kill them.
It is true. But at the same time, think of it this way, dear Bob. If you were to drop dead this very, very moment, how would you keep everyone in the land from never knowing your name or forgetting you existed? People don't really die when their heart stops beating and they fall to the ground. They die only when they're forgotten. And that's a much steeper task. Even if you weren't, to stand up and start shambling around and feasting on brains. You couldn't kill Bob the idea in any easy measures, especially with your new little archdruiddom.
Yes, that would be, but I would have passed on. Sadly,
True.
or AK.
Indeed. But you would be remembered. That is why stories are so important as well. If you wanted to be absolutely sure of a weapon that could completely, permanently destroy an undead, There are already spells to unmake, weapons to unmake, but there is a scale of power, unfortunately. There's no be-all, end-all. Otherwise, that's holy water works on basic skeletons and zombies, and great burning blades works on yet more powerful ones, and a sun blade will run a vampire through, and great burning coruscating lights will banish the shadow.
How about the Lich?
A lich. Oh, now there's a truly sad, sad existence. How to kill a lich. To kill its mind, I suppose. That's all a lich is. It's just a soul and a mind, no feelings. Whole bunch of magic. Perhaps some kind of feeble mind spell. Of course, I have to break through their incredibly powerful resistance. That's the other issue with a lich.
That would be an issue. Those are rather mythological existences.
They are. The mythology of a lich is thus: they are creatures created by performing truly, genuinely evil acts, and they have a phylactery, a resonance storage for their soul, so that should their scattered bones be destroyed, their soul can retreat to its hidden hidey hole. And of course, in a great many stories, the hero then finds, and after some great questing, this phylactery and destroys it. But unfortunately, people are never quite so stupid in a story. And that's why I recommend Feeble Mind. To kill him, just disable him. No escaping soul business there. You can just render him a useless pile of babbling bones. Killing
That
them
would
or
be
trying to imprison them
very
is
useful.
the most foolish attempt. No prison lasts forever, and death is not final. But you can certainly take their mind away, and that is their identity. Quite gone.
Does that even stick to their soul if they just get sucked back into that phylactery?
Oh, and you just don't kill them when you feeble mind them, and just do whatever you want with their body now. It'll just be a wandering around pile of bones, incapable of casting spells, and unaware that it should be killing itself to restore itself. Turn them into a babbling incompetent. I don't know, just put them in a box or something. The Fairy Queen will give you a beatific smile. That's a more in-depth and clear answer than I'm used to getting. Or giving. But hopefully it helps. Now, I don't personally have the means to go
It
about it.
does. Just it's so annoying trying to keep. You know what's really hard the most of all this is keeping the group somewhat safe.
Yes. You do put yourself in terrible
So-
danger to fight great and mighty foes. It's very impressive, and I'm incredibly proud.
Now the problem is we're a group of individuals.
Yes.
Like, swear to God, it's like,
You may be a group of individuals, but you've certainly been working as a team, as a cohort. You wouldn't have gotten this far otherwise. I think you doubt yourself and your companions a
we
little
got
bit too
so far.
much.
It's not so much doubting that, it's the fact that we have been extremely lucky. Like the number, like Python must have been just smiling on us this entire time. Because even with our prowess, I will say this, even with our prowess, we have been just sliding by the skin of our teeth on occasions.
There is a very popular, famous, and old saying, dear Bob: fortune favors the brave. Have some faith.
That's deep
You've been doing
sighs.
a good job, and yes, there is no small amount of luck, but I believe most of that luck is of all of your own making.
I do hope so. We're gonna be needing that and some more.
Speaking of some
Because
more,
I've been get.
you're going to be bumping into someone soonish. Pass on my best. They sent me something that belonged to me. It was very good of them.
Oh,
I can't tell their secrets, or mine, of course. But you'll bump into them
okay,
soon, no
bumping
doubt.
into some. Oh, I'll see. Probably.
Almost certainly. Gestures at your many eyes.
Yeah. Really useful though. It was a bit disorienting. Somebody has to keep an eye out for, well, everything.
Indeed. Anyway, I should not keep you for too long. A little bunch of
Yeah.
fingerlings who are about to have a tea party.
Oh, oh, and you have a very splendid then.
My thanks, Bob. And you take care of yourself. And she will grace you with the most
How
greatest and fondest a head pat. It
nice.
makes you literally glitter.
I was gonna say before she says so was just to toss the question. How knowledgeable are you about the Inspirus line?
She ponders for a moment, and then there is a tiny little quirk of her brow. Please, a maiden never tells.
God damn it.
Of course, I mean,
Ah,
Come
of
on, are
course.
you surprised, really?
No, I'm not surprised. Just constantly disappointed. Not even disappointed, just like, ugh.
I mean, that is your mother's entire wheelhouse of why she got famous. Was
Yes,
that
I
she was
know,
a
but
ambassador.
everybody my mother fucks. I can't fuck.
Just
I mean, I
because
Well,
say
of
now
that,
you
but
can.
No,
then
that's
remember
just
who
proven
Chris
to be not
lost.
true.
Yeah, it's proven to be
Chris
not
lost his
true.
virginity too. He didn't know at the time, though. To be fair, it wasn't his
Yeah.
fault.
Yeah.
Ah, well,
You
Also,
and
Tris is still
fucking
emotionally recovering from fucking Morgan saying, "Oh, I'm going to go visit your girlfriend, Kasira." It's like, oh.
You and fucking Skow with same brain. Same things happening in Amxal.
Pretty much.
It just okay. Well,
They're very
that
good to us.
explains.
Their line has solved a great deal of confusing situations.
Yes, and probably given root to some others.
Well, of course, we are a very capricious species. It is in our nature to cause as much mischief as can be cured, if not more so.
Give as much as take.
Of course.
Well then, shall not take up more of your time. Thank you so much for your wisdom. Shall put it to as good use as I can.
Indeed, I'm sure that you will, Bob. Okay. And now I believe that is all that everything points are regathered, and your party is able to reform once more at the Dragonhold and begin their journey south to the
Woo!
Psychic Hives and the Mimic Dungeon.
Yeah. Are we meeting the newest member for the time being today, or does that be sometime other time?
It will probably be next session because we've managed to go quite a bit of time.
Okay. Okay.
Well, let's see here. How about a journey roll?
Sure.
Okay.
Who's gonna start the course for Don't Stop Believing?
You're gonna need a new navigator, by the way, because Tristan's not with you.
Yeah. Yeah. What do we have for navigation? Let's take a look.
What the have for abilities then?
See, we have operate, vehicle, navigator's tools, and nature. So,
My nature is a 2.
let's see here. I can do I can do
Nature.
cooking if Bob wants to do nature.
I have a fucking 4 in nature. I have an 8 in cooking.
Yes, but you might be our best bet for navigation because that for nature might be better than literally everybody else's. So, does anyone have a better nature?
Yes,
Or
Jesse.
proficient.
Jesse has a 7 nature.
Okay, there you go. Jesse will be our navigator then. Wait, was she doing the scouting as well, though? She was doing scouting before, wasn't
Yeah,
she?
she's
No,
a
I'm doing.
scout.
I'm doing scouting.
Oh,
Okay, okay. All right. Jesse's navigator, Faunra will be scouting, and I guess Bob's quartermaster.
You go, Jesse.
Woof.
26.
God damn, girl.
16.
Not
And
bad.
then cooking.
Yep, and you have assistance from me, so 16.
16. Okay. Let's see.
It was a 19 on the fucking die for that scout for that
Oh yeah,
travel roll.
Jesse
1
was
point from
all up.
fucking
Scout
1
Rogue's gonna
point
scout
from,
rogue.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
mean
was
Soul
thinking
Knife.
more like the fact that it could have
And
been
Soul Knife, yeah.
was being the fact that it could have been a 20 by 1 point.
So close.
Well, that's how the dice go.
Okay. The duration of the journey is reduced, but otherwise there are no other DC bonuses. You avoid failure.
That is good.
Should I try regular cooking stuff?
No.
Well, there is the rules have been modified. If you remember that.
You didn't pass the quartermastery by 5, so you can't.
Okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, a change was made to cooking indeed, that there is, unless you like really fuck it up with a 1, no downside to at least giving it a go. But you do still have to pass by 5 to try in the first place.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, as you cross over into Hive territory, you are stopped by a glorious and incandescent figure stood on the top of a hill beside a similarly glorious glowy blue horse.
Solaire?
He posing into the sunrise on the 3rd day of your journey. A great big Owu.
Yay!
One of Hagen's glorious foxwolves.
I assume this is Tristy's backup.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
stood beside her, admittedly not really paying attention to the sun and munching out of a bag of delicious oats, is the glorious Sir Peaches the 42nd. But meeting them properly, we'll have to wait for next session, because, yeah,
Oh,
we've
thank
managed
God,
to
I
go
gotta
for
go
a
to bed.
staggeringly long time.
Okay.
We do a lot
Well-
during downtime.
Yeah.
Lots of Bob and Tristy stuff.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are very long
They're
combos.
big talky parts. Well, they're very
Hey.
important talky parts. I apologize for not interrupting them at all, but I found it utterly riveting myself to hear different ideas thrown around. Ooh,
I just wish the rest of, I just wish more of the party could have been a part of it, but oh well.
Yeah, that first part, maybe, but the second part was, it was gratifying to see that loose end tied up for well, not loose end, but that emotional thread tied up for a character.
Yeah. Okay. So, did you explore a new or interesting location for the first time?
No.
No.
Well, the mansion actually.
That's not really a location.
No,
It's
that's just a
a-
spell.
It's
I mean, it's an
inside of
interesting
the
location because you've never seen the inner dimension, like a little pocket mansion before. We didn't know pocket mansions exist in this world.
See, that would be a
That would
new and
probably
interesting
be
truth about the land.
yeah.
Yeah. And as for new interesting truth about the land, yeah, I'd say you guys pretty much nailed that one.
Yeah.
New ally or a lasting enemy?
Nope.
Nope. Advancing or completing a quest?
Correct.
Yeah.
We learned a shitload of stuff about the king.
Woo!
And we slam dunked Tristy's, mom's not a vampire no more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did you defeat a threat? Nope. Learn something new about a player character? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys look, admittedly not as a whole group, but I will allow it to be counted as a group because all were involved in the telling. Learned of Tristy's like family's harrowed past. And have various commitments to your oaths been hard tested and upheld? I don't think I pushed any of you particularly hard. Oh,
Yeah,
We
hey,
did.
wait.
Yeah,
The
they are.
fairies.
The fairies did the thing.
that's right. Yes. Taji, Bob, you get a bonus.
I also fulfilled my oath to save Mom, and then also fulfilled my oath to turn her back from being a vampire.
Yeah, okay. I think that's it, though. So everyone gets
3?
3, with an extra for Tristy, Bob, and Taji.
Yeah.
Well,
Alrighty then. So that's it. We're all wrapped up and done.
All right, if you're watching on the stream, you too, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in just a couple hours for Mirrors and Hammer. Till then, adios and do take care.